future. Now without further delay, let's start and fly on.
T minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery.
In this opening episode today, we are going to talk about my favorite and very interesting topic, that is space tourism. It always excited me whenever I see a sky or a chart of solar system. Seriously, I look forward to have a second home on Moon, third home in Mars and so on, such that I can go out for a vacation there. For all of us, it's not a fancy dream. And yes, it's possible to physically go on other planets and as many space research organizations like NASA, ISRO, government bodies as well as private startup companies will make it possible. To set the tone on this discussion, let's break our calendar time as per pre-2020 versus now onwards. In pre-2020, we could only hear about few well-trained astronauts going from NASA and other space agencies who used to travel beyond Earth's orbit for their research and satellite objectives. Now, post-2020, we can seriously talk about non-astronauts like you and me to board on a space rocket for other outer experience as a tourist. Does that excite you? I'm sure it will be a dream come true for most of us. So what kind of tours we can expect? From what I can sense with my apparent studies is that we could have several options ranging from few minutes ride to few months stay with variety of packages and training institutions. One such a space shuttle tour could be point to point within Earth's orbit, say from India to USA within 30 minutes. Alternatively, we will have a short few minutes wherein our real outer experience of zero gravity, wherein we kickstart from a space station and just cross the Earth's orbit, wherein we start feeling very lightweighted due to absence of gravity pull, and we may almost start flying there due to lightweight and atmosphere. And with such unique experience, come back to Earth with our actual weight on and start sharing on social media, etc. Third option going further could be we plan a visit and step down on Moon with its Earth's natural satellite. By the way, for your general knowledge, against that's being taught in our school books, is that Earth has one moon, not more, but actually Earth has 3 moons and not one. Also, we can find artificial man-made satellites that revolves around or orbit the Earth to collect and send various data. With such advancement of developments, many government and private companies have already started their planning their colonies on Moon and setting up their stations. Thus, when people like us go there as a space tourist, they can host us amenities like a space hotel or a space or a space car for sightseeing, service robots, etc. Cool! What more will you expect? Please write and comment below. Fourth option as a space tourist will be to going to another planets like Mars and beyond. This is also possible now as many successful launches have been done by NASA, ISRO, government of China, Russia, etc. And so a long journey to different planets by human is soon going to be a reality. Certainly such tours will be long duration in months, and the tourist can't suddenly change his mind after a few days to take a U-turn. But good news is that journey to Mars will be possible soon with man-made colonies there. I'm sensing that you all are tempted to go to space and so want to know from where to buy tickets. Well, to name few, there are companies like Virgin, SpaceX, Blue Origin, Boeing, etc. who are in commercial space line. I'm a big fan of Sir Elon Musk, who owns SpaceX, and to say that his rocket company has already sent a human into orbit and is also NASA certified. Thus, Starship of SpaceX has a bright future carrying private passengers into orbit, while Sir Elon Musk's goal is to settle Mars. It's all in making. Big question is that at what price, what package they offer, whose risk and under what legal authority. For all those I'm not clear, and just wait and watch. However, couple of things I can say at this stage is that space tourism is not going to be like a simple aeroplane flight booking, wherein you can take a ticket online or offline and just start flying. You know, space tourism is going to be different in the sense that even after paying your tickets, you will still need to undergo some training with certification. Also, some ethics on how we need to behave both physically and mentally has to be learned without setting norms if someone starts shouting in fear, help, help, or spit, or do shit. Oh no. There has to be standard and dignity that non-astronauts has to learn many things, including wearing a special space suit and etc. before he or she is eligible to board a rocket to fly. Also, since we are talking about eligibility, the person's weight and height also matters. As an ideal weight should not be less than 50 kg or not more than 100 kg. While height should be more than 5 feet, not least appropriate doctor certificate of health status before and after the space tour, as well as a board legal agreement executed under some jurisdictional authority and all such formalities. That is what going to make space tourism different from earthly airplane booking. By the way, I am analyzing that such rocket science is going to disrupt all international airline industry, as with advancement of moving from one country or continent to another continent will be a matter of minutes. What do you say? Hope my e-talk today is making some sense, and by now you must have already planning your future vacation in space. Hang on, it's still few years away. I'm feeling lucky, as by the time I am 18 years of age, there is a little over 9 years. By 2030, there will be a considerable movement in this industry. I'm also personally excited, not just as a space tourist, but also from a commercial and technology point of view, including data science. As you are aware, I am a Python coder and ambitious to build innovative products. Some creative thoughts that come to my mind are at this stage is if I fly to moon or Mars and carry my 3D printer that can develop real estate smart homes. I'd like to set up an estate there and call it as Swayam Space Home and Robot and Resort to invite you there. What's your take on this? Out there on space, I'll also be hoping to greet another alien life within or outside our solar planets. Sorry I have stretched too long. Let me close on this. Today, we are going to discuss on amazing printing technologies with respect to 3D, 4D and also possibilities of 5th dimension and 6D. Is that a goosebumps? I know it's greatly exciting for some of you, like I heard of 4th dimension printing, but for few others, I think I need to start from the scratch. As someone humorously asked me if I'm planning to start a printing press with 3D printer or moon, then I'd carry my 3D printer there after they heard my previous episode on space tourism. And this word printing first needs to understood at this place. By definition, as per Wikipedia, printing is a process of mass reproducing text and images using a master format template. Thus, newspaper or school textbooks are printed using photocopier. Talking about photocopier, at times I laughed with the funny observation at various places. The shops shops shows Xerox board, but there's no Xerox machine there. Confused? Actually, Xerox is just a brand name, not an industry name, and it's a brand name, a company manufacturing photocopier. Yeah, what a joke, yeah. Anyway, we are here to discuss technology and nothing else. So let's proceed with multiple form of printing techniques. Like in past, we had letterpress, screen printing, inkjet printing, offset printing, laser printing, digital printing, and then we have zinc. But some of you might not know, zinc is full color printing technology for digital devices, and that does not require ink cartridge. Now if I have to talk about emerging technologies in printing revolution, in this industry 4.0, we will discuss about 3D, that is 3-dimension printing process that adds materials layer by layer to create a physical object, and a physical object from some objects like plastic and all, using CAD or computer aided design. Let me elaborate. Now what happens is that variety of process takes its place where materials such as plastic, powder grains, liquids, etc. are being fused together under control to create a 3-dimension object, and it has length, breadth, and width, and height and depth. So that 3D printing technology has existed from quite some time for IBM, and today engineers are building houses at a press of a button. But what's interesting upcoming is something extraordinary, which is the 4D and 4 dimension followed by 5D and 6D. So first understand what is 4th dimension. Any guesses? To answer, it's a time space. You know what happens in 4D printing process is that a 3D printed object transforms itself or changes its shape into another structure over the influence of external energy and inputs such as voltage, temperature, light, humidity, etc. For example, I think of a kitchen's gas pipeline which can all self-heal itself if there are cracks, break or leakage, and such 4D technology can automatically change its response according to the quizzes. Are you amazed and want to know how that magic can happen in the ambit of science? Well, to give you a hint, such a 4D printing technology uses programmable and advanced smart materials and to perform different functionality by adding light, heat, and liquids. Yep. Going ahead is possibility of 5D, that is axis, that is dimension, which is used to create the curve angle very perfectly. Advantage in 5D is that to print head, printable objects, we have a 5 degree of freedom against that flat layer by layer in 3D printing. Thus, technology advancement is only limited to imagination. Yeah. You see, in future we will also hear about 6D that may combine 3D, 4D, and 5D printing technologies, and to print or give output at a blink of our eyes. That will be really great. All in all, such advanced technologies would increase capabilities of the printed products, new applications from adaptive materials, thereby adding efficiency and lowering manufacturing cost and carbon footprint, for which my dad called it as a smart city home, smart lifestyle. And it's also eco-friendly also, yeah. That's all from me in this episode. Hey friends, are you watching this video right now on your mobile, tab, PC or TV? Well, whichever it is you are using is for sure connected with the internet. That means you are already using an IoT device or an Internet of Things. Earlier, Internet was mainly for people. Rather, we should say Internet of People, that is IOP. At most of the activities are done like browsing website, online shopping, e-commerce, social media, etc. was centered around people and not machine to machine. Now if you look around, you will find many of you things that has the ability to connect to the internet. Maybe your phone, TV, AC or your own refrigerator. That is Internet of Things. Talking about IoT, we refer to all such internet connected things that collect and share data with some action. Just imagine you are returning home from outside, but you want your AC to be turned on for cooling as soon as you enter in. Yes, it's possible through IoT technologies, as you can use your fingerprint, voice, or mobile phone, or even my smart wearable future smart glasses are enough to control all the appliances from your door, lights, and various electronic gadgets, or even your water tap. Personally, I can only imagine of IoT than IoT. That is the Internet of everything like furniture, trees, walls, दीवालों के भी कान होते हैं. As we can deeply cover all the physical things on our earth, including people, animals, and process data through smart wearables, while possibly implanting sensors through operation or surgery in our body. That is why I said Internet of everything. You see, sensors are becoming the endpoint of IoT network. To say, sensors collect relevant data such as location, image, weather condition, and so on, and insert them into network actuators and applications in real time. There are endless use cases of IoT in almost all industries like manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare, education, entertainment, and more. A smart car is an example of this. Further, for your interest, if I have to say that an online interaction between a doctor and patient is a great service with IoT. On a personal note, I'd like to add that using artificial intelligence in such a healthcare case, doctors can make amazing decisions with the best diagnosis possible for a patient. In this series, I'll plan a separate talk on artificial intelligence. So stay tuned with bell icon notification and subscribe to this channel Swayam Sodha Entertainment if you have not done so far. In continuation to our topic on IoT, I know there are some techie audience who would like to know that how IoT actually works. Let me explain in 4 parts. First layer of the sensing/device has sensors and actuators that collect data from surrounding like atmospheric pressure, light sensor, and it gives to the embedded device. Well, in the second part, after data has been collected through sensing, it goes to the connectivity layer via cloud using Bluetooth, RFID or NFC. You see, there are many things happening at the back end. In the third layer, the data gets processed and it reaches the cloud. In simple words, data analysis happens, as different types of algorithms are used based on the types of data collected and other assumptions to get the meaningful and insightful patterns from data. Finally, this decision is conveyed to the IoT device and similar changes are made at the user face and applications. Finally, what we will actually see is a touchscreen or a simple button is the fourth part of IoT working. Thus, behind such front end, there are many processes happening at the back end, being by techie people like me and programmers. It's challenging, but I feel excited to play with such innovative technologies. Smart glasses refer to a device that brings a suitable technology or a computer screen or display in front of a person's eyes in order to present data, some data from the background information system. Such a display can be reflected in the lens of the glasses brought to the eyesight. Best part of this technology is that the user can continue observing the real environment along with augmented reality without distractions when he or she or whosoever maybe is not needed of that information provided by the smart glasses. Let me quickly glance through some technical aspects along with features of my smart glass, which you can use it as a mobile phone also. This is a prototype that is an apparent design of my eyewear in making. This is a sidebar where the magic of technologies are hidden and it includes a PCB board with a microprocessor and with programming while special technology of a layer on this glass will make it smart for advanced technology features including augmented reality. As you see, there's a touch screen here and as you see there's a touch screen and the sensor while sensors, the motion tracker camera will be placed here and with the smartphone features. With my learning in Python and data science and few other predictive technologies like mixed reality, I can intend to add more features that and sensors that will add lot more values to make this a smarter and multi-purpose wearable. Maybe this goes in future and to create a new virtual world for mass of group people in a blockchain environment to parallel with our real world and isn't it exciting? Some of the elementary features I can highlight at this stage is that your all phone information can get paired automatically via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Why only phone? This can integrate data from your laptop, tabs, mobile, etc. And this it will be also very convenient to integrate with the voice assistant for a hands-free experience. Thus, a wearer of this smart glass can do lots of functions or move like call a Uber taxi, get notifications, check social media status, check weather forecasting and check health data, check e-calendar for appointments and lots more. Not the least, camera in front one can continuously capture and record events happening before his eyes and also do many face recognition with my programmed inside. If demand comes to add more utility on hands-free experience, if demand comes I can provide or attach an additional earphone or a headset that for a set of phone calls or music. Interestingly, with those voice commands, kids can do their schoolwork, working people can do their office work, while few others can do chitter-chatter. Don't ask me who. Also using voice commands, ensure that you don't speak very loudly to disturb others and be misunderstood madly. At an advanced level, I'll also plan this eyewear with immersive technologies for gaming, entertainment, healthcare, as well as educational purposes with MR, that is mixed reality, and hologram techniques that can be with inbuilt and advanced AI features. Last but not the least, to save energy, I'll add a solar battery charge system and save nature. To summarize, I'll like to make use of special plastic photopolymer material for smart glass and connecting it with processor, spy camera, Wi-Fi and other sensors. Yeah, as add-ons, I'd like to set up Wi-Fi or NFC, that is a near-field communication and extended fingering variable for on, off and other joystick controls for better experience. To begin with, we will quickly glance through 1G to 4G technology revolution so that you can better understand what is 5G, as you would realize that every network delivers faster speed and more functionality to our smartphones with every G. 1G was a pure cell phone for only calling purposes. 2G let us text messages. 3G brought us online with audio-video communication, but with limited speed and bandwidth. 4G delivered speed and high capacity data handling. But that's not enough. Now users demand more data for their smartphones, IoT devices, and so on. So that's the need of 5G networking. Advantage in 5G is that it can handle 1,000 times more traffic and 10 times more speed than 4G LTE. That means with a blink of my eyes, we can download a full HD movie. How nice as a technologist, I can now think and work on such stuff that requires huge data processing like virtual reality, IoT, and such trending technologies that I'm going to cover in this release. Well, for the time being, let's focus on what is 5G. I don't think any expert can clearly define 5G, but I'll try to do my best and make it easy for your knowledge. Let me put it this way. There are 5 grand technologies for 5G, namely millimeter waves, small cell technology, massive MIMO, beamforming, and full duplex. First, millimeter waves. To explain our home electronic device usage and less than 6 GHz radio frequency spectrum with more users, bandwidth will be too less. So technology like millimeter waves allows higher bandwidth with available space, but there are limitations. The limitation is that millimeter waves can't pass through obstacles of things like walls, trees. So small cell networks are used to overcome all this and travel a long distance without losing signal. Well, here are thousands of mini base stations are used to around tower to transmit signals without break or delay issues. Next brand technology of 5G is massive MIMO, that it stands for multiple input, multiple output. It is used for a capacity. Yet another technology is beamforming, like a traffic system for circular signals, and it brings efficiency for specific users. Well, last but not the least is a full duplex. It's like a distinct railway track performing smooth and quick transition of waves. Was it too techy? Let's take a breather. Now let's discuss what we can achieve with 5G in general compared to 4G limitation. With 5G, we will be able to feel in our phone that my planned futuristic smart glasses. So smart glasses with respect to our homes or cars or city or town around enabled with 5G network, wherein download or streaming will happen instantly without delay. So cars will be able to talk to each other, prevent accidents with millions of IoT devices will be connected with my favorite AR and VR that is virtual reality and augmented reality. Can be achieved with real-time response. 5G will be also bringing great industrial benefits like remote drone control or remote operations. Now somebody may ask me that how 5G can do this magic? What is the differentiator? I can answer in 3 points. First is of course high bandwidth with a handle up to 1 GB data second. Second is a low latency as a 5G reaction time is low as 1 millisecond. So everything happens here magically, instantly. And third is that dense connection. 5G can connect up to 10 times more devices than a 4G given space in square kilometer. In this way, very large volumes of data can be carried with 5G network with the help of 5 brand technologies that we discussed a few minutes before. On this note, let me conclude to say 5G technology will make my dad's innovative smart lifestyle of Smart City Home.in a reality for a smart home segment, while autonomous cars will have awareness of each other, where that cars are and bike presentation and traffic signal around the place. Just look at the screen behind me. Interesting, isn't it? this is a kind of technology that is getting to our discussion today, and it's known as AR or augmented reality. Well, for your information, I'm personally working on such AR technology in my innovative project of smart wearable glasses like these. So with my understanding and learning so far, I'm glad to make this presentation. Alright, so basically here is a digital technology that allows us to place a digital asset over the real world, or we can say overlaying digital world images that we use with our devices like a mobile screen or my future smart glasses onto the real world that we see with our eyes. To give more clarity, it's like you look at the real world and simultaneously digital images are added to this. For example, have you seen Google Maps which displays digital directions on the top of the real map, man? And it will show you where to drive. Other than this, have you used Google Lens for your better search experience? If not, do try it. For fun, I've used AR via Snapchat filters, and I suppose many of you have used it as a laughter medicine, where we can place some funny augmented digital objects on our face. Like that day I was with that beard with elephant ears. This kind of AR works for fun. But in a serious business side, AR is giving brands that power to provide their customers with unique experiences. For instance, IKEA app uses AR in a big way. And travel companies have also used AR. How convenient it becomes for us if we are thinking to go to Statue of Unity in Gujarat. Just by pointing our mobile phones the picture Statue of Unity, we get all the information about it. That is how AR is so effective, man. Well, it is said that our human brain processes visuals 60,000 times faster than text. Thus, AR has eliminated all the time and location barrier and has great power to improve learning experience. Accordingly, there are various use cases of AR in education, entertainment, real estate, student travel, healthcare, or military training, and so on. Do you want to know how I am pursuing AR technology in my innovations? To answer, best part I like about AR is that it doesn't require any bulky headset like VR, which we'll probably discuss in our next episode. To experience AR, we would only need a mobile phone or an AR glasses, which have the ability to create optical illusion. Before I miss it, let me also add that one most important component we require, which is trackability. That is used to track surfaces or track someone's faces or hands, man. In this way, once I have developed my futuristic planned Swayam smart glasses, just with an aid of camera along with we can enjoy immersive AR experience. Hi friends, just give me a moment to wear this. Yeah, so it's known as a VR or virtual reality, and it will take me to another world. But don't worry, I'll keep up my talking from that virtual world to a real world. Wow! In this virtual reality world, rather I should call it as a new digital universe. You just think and you can become that. You become a hero. You're always wanted to do or be whatever you want to be from that digital universe. To get some feel, just observe the screen behind me. First things first, let's understand what is VR and or virtual reality, and also learn the types of VR and different components required for it, and as well as few case studies with some of my ideas that I can think of it for your happiness. To begin with, virtual means feeling the imaginary digital world to be near us as I'm feeling now. And reality is what we experience as a human being. Amazing part I like about VR is that it can make us provide some experience that even that might be not present at the location there. Are you getting some idea of the feeling from the screen behind me? What it does is that it just replaces your real world with a new virtual computer generated environment. Such digital environment could be any imaginary thing. Maybe it could be some game or some video that's playing all around you when you look to your left or right, up or down. Ultimately, your brain gets tricked, and what you start feeling in your brain is that new reality, although it's virtual. So technology has created a new world for us in parallel to our real world. How amazing! Now let us discuss what it takes to enter into this new virtual reality world, the kinds of headsets or components. From my learning so far, I have found that there are two kinds of VR headset. Type 1 is the accessory kind, in which we plug in our smartphone into that. Do you know you can also get VR 3D environment stuff on YouTube? Type 2 is kind of VR headset is the standalone device that does everything in it. It has a gyroscope, then an accelerometer to track head and hand movements, as well as the screen and everything to track head movements, as I said, and it has everything including built-in sound and other elements. Thus, there are wired and wireless VR headsets. Wired set are one obviously preferred, more and immersive. They are directly connected to a powerful processor and will work a lot faster and smoother, but are a bit costly at the moment. On the other hand, less costly one is wireless, are one we use with our mobile phones, and we need to take them into our VR headset. But I feel the issue may be that as our mobile screen are small in size, we may have to compromise high definition and fast processing content. My friend, if you are non-techie, you may be curious to understand how this 3D environment is happening in the VR. Well, let me explain. In the backend, VR uses software to generate realistic images, sounds, and even other sensations that replicate a real environment. Going further, VR smartly brings the user into the digital world by cutting out outside stimuli. Thus, nowhere to go in real world, the user is slowly focusing on the digital content. Ultimately, VR simulates user physical presence in this virtual environment by enabling the user to interact with the space and any object or digital asset depicted therein. It's mind-boggling, isn't it? You see, our brain gets tricked in the virtual reality. Now let us talk about the use cases. The obvious choice for entertainment everyone will think is about gaming. But VR has a lot more to offer in education, training, healthcare, etc. And I'll be sharing some of my unique ideas in a while from there. But before that, let me share as to how I'm trying to pursue and plan VR technology with respect to my futuristic innovation in Swayam Smart Wearable Glasses project, which you can see again in Swift 3 of this YouTube channel. The pattern in which I think is that since we are site-driven, goggles can be created which cover or packs all the site of real world to cut off and replace with something else. Let's say 2 images for 2 eyes individually. Now when a user of my planned smart glasses will look at these program images or a video both at once, the person will get the sense of the 3D dimensions rather than the real world dimensions. Then I'll also need a built-in gyroscope that can sense when my glasses move any left, right, up, down direction. So if you look up, the screen looks up, making you believe that you are actually in that setting. Going beyond, I can also think to add a fully immersive sound that can be used to make you really think that you are in another place. How's that? Which wonderland you would like to be in? Please comment below. Similarly, there are many techniques that I can use for you to interact with such a virtual world using sensors and my Python programming to sense where your hands are or other body movements. My imagination can go further to provide you smell, or I can literally make you experience wind blowing through your hair and so on. Do see my another video in this channel, Just Imagine for Innovation, as imagination is unlimited, wherein my planning of smart wearable glasses can artificially create sensory experience which include your sight, touch, hearing and also smelling. Do you like this idea? Please do write me on my new inbox at swayamsodha@gmail.com with your imaginative and creative ideas on your desired virtual world you want to be in. Before I close, I want to leave you with something interesting ideas where virtual reality technology can be greatly helpful to people beyond entertainment and gaming. For instance, we can create an AI-based software in VR such that anyone can enjoy relaxation or even meditation in a simulated environment and feel happy and peaceful. If that sounds boring for your happiness, if you love music and dance as your choice, yes, we can create a DJ party virtually and a virtual music festival. Is that exciting? Give me a thumbs up. To add more flavor, if bandwidth is great with 5G connectivity that we discussed 2 episodes before, we can also host a Halla Gulla live broadcasting using smart glasses with VR featuring. As a technologist, my only concern and challenge is that since it's 360 degree, it's like streaming several 4K quality videos at the same time. Don't worry, I'll apply my mind as where there is a will, there is a way. In our previous 2 episodes, we discussed about the 2 trending immersive technologies, namely augmented reality and virtual reality. As these technologies get evolved, we have yet another very interesting development happening in the form of mixed reality. In short, we call it as MR, which is the best of the 2 worlds of AR and VR. Now how do I explain you to this? Okay, let me put it this way. In mixed reality, we cannot just imagine but possibly experience at our mental level to interact with our favorite Marvel superhero. Wow, isn't it great? I said we can interact with our superheroes. Who's yours? Mixed reality is all about blending the real world with virtual reality. You must be wondering that how this is different from AR. You see, augmented reality we cannot manipulate elements, but in mixed reality we can. Here we can dream of using technology. Technology in training wherein we can become a doctor, although not certified, but we can learn about the human heart or body and digital development and digital environment. And best of mixed reality is that it can manipulate it like doing surgery of a patient and such operating activities like online shopping. In this way, MR takes the AR and VR, both technologies at another level where we are able to manipulate the digital images and that are overlaid on the real world. In context to my planning on my innovation of Swayam smart wearable glasses, I will ensure that my kind of eyewear glasses were allowed to see the real world objects, unlike a VR headset where we are cut off to immerse only in the virtual world that we discussed in our last episode. My attempt will be to make such interactiveness and with the augmentations using our bare hands and with some body languages in order to get all the information we need at our command. If this happens, it will benefit you as end users and Many industries per se like education, training, sports, healthcare, real estate and more. So, hi friends, in this serial talk on Swayam to Futuristic technologies, today we are going to discuss on robotics, as robots will be a common place in our home in future. If you have been following me in past, I have mindly spoken on robotics in my prize-winning video on ethical dilemma of artificial intelligence. But to refresh, basically AI is an area of computer programming, while robot is an area of physical engineering that focuses on building and operating a robot. So friends, by now you have a fair idea on what is a robot, and we need not to define like the Chatur silencer of the Three Idiots movie, who will have elaborated its definition as a robot is an autonomous machine capable of sensing its environment, carrying out complications to make decisions or performing actions in the real world. Oops, I just said we need not to define it, but I have defined it. Can't take my words back, but let's proceed to our discussion. As robotic world will be influencing our life with state-of-art human-like robots. If you have think about this in past, we had robots that were dumb and monotonous for picking things like cars or putting screw or wheels onto a car, spray paint, but couldn't intelligently make decisions. Nowadays, we can give those robots sensors and we can give those robots things like a camera, which acts as a machine vision, and it acts their eyes. And by adding it with AI programming, suddenly we have human-like machines. Have you seen Sophia Ramika? It's a robot in human form today, and in other words, it's a humanized robot, and Sophia's face can reflect up to 60 shades of human emotions. Sophia robot can also recognize and maintain a conversation. Similarly, there are many humanoid robots, less well known but no less interesting. Like Android Set can make eye contact and can touch the other person during the conversation. There's an Atlas robot which can not only walk but run using a lidar rotating in the robot's head. It can scan the surrounding space and easily bypass all the obstacles in his way. In addition to running, jumping or even dancing, a robot can handle up to carrying a box or a bag. This robotic is a multidisciplinary field which brings together a number of distinct branches of engineering to support a vast number of industries. For examples, if I have to discuss we have self-driving cars combining robotics and brain with AI. There are also medical assist with surgery, streamline hospital, logistics and make enabled to providers get direct attention on their patients. Another example is agriculture that are capable of assisting farmers with wide range of activities such as planting, plucking, sowing seeds, harvesting, picking with more efficiency and reduce wastage. In certain industries, we may also see human working seamlessly with robot colleagues. We call it as cobot. Overall, robots are becoming smarter and analysis capabilities and are able to carry out a multi-attitude of functions independently. At this stage of our discussion, let us hear a conversation I had with a basic tycoon, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani sir, about his practical perception on robotics. Do you think that robotics will be able to take place of humans?
Yes, it will. In many fields of activity which are repetitive and which are laborious, you will have robotics which will be there. Tomorrow, when you want to do cleaning of this room, you will do it through robotics. You will not need any person to come over here. It will automatically sweep the floor and do the cleaning. You will have things which will do painting of the walls and others, we will do through robotics. But at this point of time, labor is cheaper and we have a lot of people who need employment. They need income. So we can't afford to convert everything to robotics. But you're right, one day it will become robotics.
Including having panelists like yourself joining us in person, hopefully robotics.
To conclude, we innovators are dreaming of creating robots along with other other technologies like my Amazon smart wearable glasses to make human life easier. But a big question remains is that as more and more robots will get manufactured every year, we'll wake up one day to a world full of robots. What kind of life it will be for human beings? Today we are going to discuss on my dad's visualized smart eco-friendly lifestyle concept which he has coined as smartcityhome.in. Let's get a glimpse of it by way of an animation. Did you find this unique and exciting? I tell you an interesting observation that the smart city home lifestyle concepts represents not one, not two, but three progressive industries, namely real estate, integrating it with infotech and further renewable energy along with government functionalities like planning and execution of a smart city. What more? Let us hear from the founder himself, Swayam Sodha. Just to introduce, he is an author on books on real estate since 1994 and an innovator of this award-winning concept since 2011, much ahead of its time.
Foremost, SmartCityHome.in concept is aimed to balance between high-tech and nature to bring that quality of life with happiness. It allows us to move forward with advanced technologies like IoT, 5G and so on, while going back to nature with renewable resources. This idea will bridge the urban-rural gaps where families stay together for good. At the same time, the breadwinners can choose their home, come work at a place where they love to be.
That was too good and visionary, isn't it? Before I proceed, let me admit that I am not expertising in this subject and I'll be reading out to you the following presentation. So let's get ready to understand how this is going to change our world to be smarter and greener. We begin with some burning questions that we need to ask ourselves. Have you ever thought about the impact you as an individual are making on the environment and adding carbon footprint? Have you been hearing of rising sea level and concerns that population in ocean life is declining more rapidly due to warmer water? If you ever felt so overwhelmed, but it's hard to feel if there is any way that you as an individual can really make a difference. SmartCityHome.in attempts to make a difference. Not only to combat the global warming, but also keeping pace with futuristic technologies, making life easier and happy. Broadly, there are three varied industries in the execution of this smart lifestyle, namely green building construction, smart home technologies, and renewable resources. Let's understand these technologies one by one. Green building. As per an abstract from a World Green Building Council, a green building is a building that in its design, construction or operation reduces or eliminates negative impacts and can create positive impacts on our climate and natural environment. Green buildings preserve precious natural resources and improve our quality of our life. Next, what is smart? Smart homes, buildings, cities, that goes to build a smart nation. To answer, smart city or home uses devices connected via internet to allow for remote monitoring and management of appliances and system. Renewable energy. These are energies that are collected from renewable sources such as sunlight, winds, waves, tide, geothermal heat, rain, and they are naturally replenished on human timescale. SmartCityHome.in concept endeavors to change the world rising in support of environmental causes. We observe urban areas getting hotter than its surrounding due to the dense concrete structures which contribute towards greenhouse gases present in the area. At SmartCityHome.in, we are concerned about the exploitation of the environment, so even small steps toward conservation hold immense importance the necessity of eco-friendly homes and building technologies. While oil, gas and coal continue to be our main source of energy, but renewables are growing rapidly and SmartCityHome.in encourages and endorses this fully. Solar panels can be used by homes and business at large-scale facilities. Believe it that solar are becoming less expensive and more efficient, making it more competitive with other technologies. In parallel, wind turbines, if the location is windy, produces some of the lowest priced clean energy. Additionally, biomass, which is term generating energy from living or recently living organisms like food wastage, forest residue, etc., are also used. Not the least, water reuse techniques are also planned in this concept of SmartCityHome.in. SmartCityHome.in proposes to design buildings in such a way that it consumes less energy, has a great design flexibility, a long maintenance cost with improved quality, etc. It also is critical in all societies that we start hybrid work at home system and has no better way to do it than designing our new homes on this concept of SmartCityHome.in to meet environment friendliness. We believe it will be win-win commercially too, as the owner residents and those operating the structures will end up with low annual cost for energy, water, repair, etc. If this lifestyle concept of SmartCityHome.in is understood in the correct sense, most importantly, these improved cost doesn't come at any expense of higher initial cost to the use of modern techniques and integrated designs. The total cost of the building can be reduced to the price of a traditional building. Such new advancements combined with more environmental awareness have fueled to rise of clean energy. At SmartCityHome.in, we share some tips to achieve above objectives as follows. Use materials with a few or no toxic elements present in them, are resistant towards moisture and have minimal emission of volatile organic compound. Use rainwater harvesting system to conserve rainwater. Use automatic taps and flushes in laboratories to save water. Plus, flow restricting devices can be installed in our taps. Use renewable energy services like solar panel, biogas, etc. if convenient. Switch off the lights and other electronic devices when not in use to save energy. Is it interesting so far? While builders and real estate industry would like to value eco-friendly construction from this concept of SmartCityHome.in, I'd like to talk more about the smart homes with tech-loving people of my generation and future would like to adopt. So, I'm innovating the Swayam smart wearable glasses for all to take your control of your smart homes. Of course, we can alternatively use our smartphones, tablet or computer. Above all, my dad's smart city home has a planned automation system wherein things manage themselves without human beings have to do anything at all, like lights in our home being turned off during the natural sunlight, and is with sensors in dark at that place, and when we arrive the lights will turn on automatically. You see, it makes our life easier. More examples are when we are hurry away to a meeting in a work or a school, and we certainly realize that we have forgotten to turn off our fans, TV, AC at home. Don't worry, with Smart City Home.in adaptation, you can turn them off easily at any distance from just your smart glasses or any device. Another example I can share is with smart appliances. We can create and schedule for automation, and we can limit such electronic gadgets from my kinds of innovation in making. That is Amazon smart wearable glasses or from smartphones. Such controls location free. We can operate our things from any part of the world. How's that? Hope you found this eco-friendly smart lifestyle concept of Smart City Home.in very interesting and adaptable. Do you realize that such a solution that is only to give you a peace of mind, keeping your family safe, providing the best entertainment, and keeping you connected anytime, anywhere? Recently, I attended a high-profile conference on Futuristic Summit Asia at ITC Hotel, and a speaker was discussing on case study of smart car of future. So, I thought let me share my insights with you all on this subject of trending technology. Today we will learn about smart robotic autonomous cars. Are you shocked or excited if I am using robotic here? Maybe many people may disagree, but I keep my views that driverless cars are moving robots with a computer vision in the form of camera, plus various sensors fusion to understand its environment, plus localization through digital mapping to know its location, plus AI-based path planning ability to think about the most optimum route, and not the least, centralized controls to ensure safe mobility and how the car steers the wheels. Thus, such self-driving car uses technologies to replace driver assistant with a mixture of sensors, software, radar, GPS, laser beams, camera, monitor road conditions, and such automated safety features to navigate. How wonderful it will be to own a Smart City Home.in with a smart car that is capable of sensing its environment and navigating us to our destiny without a human driver. And most interestingly, it does a biometric for security, entertainment, etc. Further, other features of such a smarter, friendly, self-driving car would include self-parking, lane keeping, traffic jam assistant, emergency braking, along with adaptive controls. To run this complex machine, there are three systems like scripted, that is pre-planned and embedded physical model. Then there is supervised system that is automated and would include many functionalities of planning and decision, sensing and perception, monitoring and diagnosis, networking and collaboration, and further, there are intelligent autonomous system to embed attribute to human intelligence in the software of such autonomous vehicles and their controlling elements. Likewise, there are 5 levels of autonomous car. Like at 0, there is no automation and driver is responsible for controlling the car. But at level 1, the driver gets assistance with some adaptive control, like he can take his feet off pedals. Then at level 2, there is a partial automation to pair steering with acceleration and braking. But the driver needs to monitor and be ready to step in. At level 3, it's a conditional automation where drivers are focused only on certain high-level tasks while taking their mind off on routine. For example, car stops upon failure or park safety alongside if driver is sleeping. Next, level 4 is high automation where the car is fully capable of monitoring driving environment and Finally, LL5's full automation where there is no driver, no steering, but there are smart cabin for passengers' voice command. That will be a wonder drive, isn't it exciting? I can sense in my audience there are some techie guys who are curious to know how this all works technically. Short answer would be hardware and software, just like in robot. Kindly see my Swift Series 9 from this playlist. Nevertheless, let me elaborate by saying that while hardwares are specifically designed, such autonomous cars are equipped with powerful software and that surveillance system work in conjunction with each other to control autonomous vehicle as well as connected autonomous vehicle or a CAV. By the way, what is CAV? Well, they use many different communication technologies to communicate with driver, with other cars on the road, with roadside infrastructure and with cloud so as to improve safety, efficiency and commute time. Coming to the technical aspect, as there are no human on the wheel, the car needs a smart eyes in the form of a video camera to detect traffic lights, read road sign and keep track with the other vehicles, while also looking out for pedestrians and other obstacles with enough information about their size, shape and position. So that's its control algorithm with deep learning can identify and plot the safest cause of action. Also, technically speaking, since cars are moving machines, so the solution essentially involves special kinds of laser beam probe called lidar. Just like in our brain, we have radar system. The other technology is miniature vision of communication technology that keeps the internet humming called integrated photonics. As discussed, the radar control will kick in whenever an obstacle comes within say 15 feet to 30 feet of the car. Then the software of car's brain uses deep learning to review camera and GPS data. Talking about the data analysis, there is a central computer wherein various sensors data like lidar, ultrasonic, camera, radar, GPS, etc. are processed to manipulate steering, acceleration and braking. This is how a self-driving car runs. Well, it sounds easy for a non-techie listener, but for developers like us, there are many challenges in the way, like bad weather conditions where cameras are unable to track due to fog or heavy rain. Other challenges are dealing with unpredictable humans like careless speeding driver who may not observe the traffic rules on the other side. Also, some issue may come from digital mapping where maps become out of date as road condition changes or maybe construction work in progress. To conclude, upon addressing the machines of driverless cars, sensors will become an essence in our future life as they are integral part of autonomous vehicles, smart city home, etc. And so, advanced sensors will potentially have more functionality addition. It will be quite interesting to see how, when and where these driverless cars will run in future. As a tech lover, for me, I'll be fascinated to see the effect it will have on such place and people. I positively believe that such smart cars can significantly increase productivity with great efficiency in mobility while making commute safer as it removes the human error. Just like we learned about driverless vehicles in our previous episodes, we are going to talk about drones today, which are also kind of robots which are flying machines that can be remotely controlled by software in its embedded systems that work with sensors and GPS. These are also known as UAV or unmanned aerial vehicle. You see, drones can be used in various fields such as photography, defense, agriculture, delivery of goods, entertainment, etc. to make such things easier and efficient. But let's talk beyond general information. In my channel, I'd love to share technologies behind a drone. So let's start and fly off. A typical drone is made up of light composite materials to increase weights and increase its movability and reach high altitude. It has components like just body, propellers, motors, rotors, electronic speed controller, flight control board, battery, transmitter, connectivity, landing gear, camera, accelerometer, altimeter, and such technologies. To me, the most important part of a drone is the operating system and flight controller that uses the data collected by an accelerometer, barometer, magnetometers, gyroscopes, and the controller to stay in the air. It may sound interesting to you that drone can be remotely controlled by smartphones or tab also, so as to capture view of surroundings from a bird's eye perspective. Techie peoples or coders like us can also leverage apps to pre-program specific GPS coordinates and create an automated flight path for the drone. Hang on, I understand you want to know how these drones actually fly. You see, there are rotors that spin the propellers and generate lift, which is powered by the batteries. So, a drone relies on rotors for its vertical motion, which consists of propellers attached to the motor to go up and down. That is why when a speed is increased, it goes up and vice versa. Then for sideway momentum, that tricks to hover the rotors clockwise and anti-clockwise, with variations in its speed in the air. This is how a whole movement happens with the required directions to navigate in a drone machine. Then, the accelerometer that feeds the drone information about its speed, direction, while an altimeter tells the machine its altitude. Not the least, there are favorite built-in cameras on board that helps the user to see such distant and difficult to reach locations. Good news or relief for general users is that they need to worry about the balance, thrust or other complexities about intricate engineering, and they can simply enjoy the act of flying them as I do, or take videos or use it for delivery if licensed, etc. You see that utilities are only going to grow as the technologies evolve, which we are discussing in this series of Swayam with native Futuristic technology. About trending technologies. In our previous episodes in this series, we have already discussed on IoT, 5G, drone, smart homes, smart cars. Taking into account of all these technologies, today we are going to discuss about edge computing as well as MEC, that is multi-access edge computing. So get on to the edge of your seat and focus here. I believe we all are familiar with the cloud computing like Gmail, Google Drive, etc. To give you some examples. However, with advancing technologies, various information and things are being connected to the network. And I expect that will make people's life convenient, as IoT will coordinate and process information with AI. So, more values will be created through IT developers like us. To say, while cloud has become an indispensable part of data process, however, that cloud has been certainly deployed on a global scale, needs to be processed enormous amounts of data. You see, huge and incomplete data generated by IoT need to be processed and responded in the shortest possible time, as increasingly devices accessing cloud services, which is Internet of Things, data for analysis online. In addition, as the physical distance between the user and the cloud increases, it results in transmission latency increment. So, as this increases response time and stressing user. Nevertheless, the processing speed in this environment is dependent on performance of the user's device. To explain this with an example, connecting cameras with sensors to the internet facilitates the creation of smart homes, smart cars, etc. However, transmitting an increased volume of data for remote centralized processing may become problematic. Not the least, transmitting video from online camera to a cloud-based vision recognition services can overload the available network capacity and in turn may result in slow response time. So to solve these kind of problems, test edge computing. Edge computing is what? Sounds like computing that takes place of edge of networks. That is Internet of Things like our phones, laptops, tabs, sensors, etc. access the network here. Just note, there are three kind of players in edge computing. 1. Cloud data center. 2. Edge gateway server. And 3. Edge clients, which are smart devices installed in all these systems while recording all the different kind of data which is being generated by these different devices. And then in turn processes the data. There's some sort of intelligence built in within and has some storage capacity also. The initial data gets processed here and then for higher workload it sends to nearby closest located physical server. We need to know that drivers of the edge computing are huge data, IoT, 5G, fast processing, intelligence in hand, low latency and of course security and privacy. You see, as IoT and other technologies are advancing, the nature of network performed by IoT devices are demanding the need for much faster connection between the data center or cloud and the smart devices. For example, a driverless car with its sensor data and data processing and real-time decision making by AI software. Now with the technologies like edge computing and MEC technique, with processing power placed local to the end device, latency is less and round trip time is also reduced. That will potentially save downtime. You must be wondering now, what is MEC? It is an abbreviation of multi-access edge computing. We will talk about it in a while, but before that, as a technocrat, let me guide you that even with the introduction of edge devices that provide computing storage, there will still be a need to connect a data center that are on premises or in the cloud. This is because edge devices can collect, sort, perform pre-elementary analysis of the data, but then it has to send it along some centralized applications or some form of long-term storage either on-prem or cloud. Now let us discuss what is MEC, a multi-access edge computing. You see, what we understood so far, that edge computing is about being the complete capacity closer to the where the data is created, reduces response time and decrease load on backend servers. MEC is the next logical step in the telco cloud. It brings a compute capacity directly to the network edge, literally on some infrastructure as the network itself. This technique is ideal in mobility, such as use cases of heavy videos kind of applications where it's capturing a crowd. Best feature of MEC is that it's not location fixed and could be anywhere, and so we install them on the network itself. Coming to the edge computing, if we are to know its upside, it's certainly giving faster response time for applications that require it. While the downside can be security, valuable data are being collected and analyzed at edge. Further, they are network that if exploiters could compromise other devices that contain stores of valuable assets. With edge computing becoming more essential, it is important to make sure that edge devices themselves don't become a single point of failure. And so developers like us will need to think how to build in redundancy and provide failure over contingency in order to avoid crippling downtime if the primary node goes down. To conclude on a positive note, that is, our industry has already gone a long way towards addressing the demand of edge computing, and its importance is likely to grow year after year as the use of real-time applications become more prevalent. Welcome to the future in the series of Swayam with alternative futuristic technologies. And this time, we are going to discuss on quantum computing, which I am pursuing currently. Today, we have our smartphones in our pocket, but 50 years before, for the same computing power, it needed an entire room or building full of supercomputers. To say, size of CPU or memory unit has grown smaller and smaller, and today, it has reached to the size of an atom. You see, I'm a sci-fi nerd, and I must say that today's topic is mind-blowing as quantum computers start to disrupt current CPU system and our world by solving the problems that seems to be impossible today. So let us prepare for the future and understand what is it by playing a toss game. Ready? Heads or tails? You have 50% chances that you will win or lose. To relate this with our today's topic, relate this with our conventional data processing that uses binary digits or bits which is 0 and 1. Now let us toss again. Heads or tails? Oh, just see this. This is a standing position. This is a superposition where we have both 0 and 1 simultaneously, and we have an infinite range of possibilities between 0 and 1 with the spin as we can see both the sides at the same time. This is what computing is all about, as it represents a far larger of data values and can store and handle loads of information at once better than a conventional binary digits. What's interesting is that we get to quantum computing and we go to subatomic level, which is completely transform the way a computer operates. Technically speaking, quantum computer processes data using quantum mechanical phenomena called superposition and quantum entanglement. That is pairing of qubits, or if I have to say it in other words, it's a state of one qubit tied to the other qubit in respect to how far the two qubits may be. Shortly, I'll show you my code writing on this for your insights into quantum programming. For understanding what it means to IT developers like us is that data handling is supercharged due to superposition property and with entanglement. A quantum computer can exponentially increase the information speed. Thus, quantum computer can address some really complex computing tasks. Now let me write and execute a code for developing 2 qubits in a quantum computer. I've opened my Jupyter notebook, and while you see me programming here with the output at the end, for non-techie audience, we'll continue our discussion in parallel. This amazing quantum computer technology trend has a great ability to easily query, monitor, analyze, and act on data regardless of the source. You see, this will improve our understanding and problem solving related to physics, chemistry, and biology, and in turn a practice of engineering. Its tasks are likely to include running molecular simulation, as qubits are made up of subatomic particles according to subatomic logic. A case study could be that quantum computer can be involved in preventing spread of pandemic virus like corona, as well as to develop potential vaccine. Another field could be cryptography for data security, or for banking and finance to manage credit risk for high frequency trading and fraud detection. Yet another application can be forecasting weather conditions or traffic prediction. You see, limitation today is that we have very complex algorithms that protects our data and processes in sequence of binary digit system. But quantum computer could easily break those algorithms as it technically has a superposition and its qubits can be entangled. Therefore, we can expect quantum computing to see a revolution across worldwide range of industrial sectors well beyond traditional computation. These powerful machines could help us discover more efficient carbon capture materials. Also, make the most out of renewable energy and perfect formula for solving the most important issue, that is global warming. Quantum computers are no longer science fiction and could be applied to help crack the code. I think there's a great hope for solving climatic crisis and perfecting renewable energy and storage technologies. Of course, it's at a very elementary state today and there's still some debugging needed, but I'm pretty sure as I reach my teenage, as I'm yet less than 9 years of age, I think this quantum computer technology would have a quantum leap advancement. Personally, I'd be excited to learn that as you saw me programming and understanding how this quantum computing is being applied with reference to my dad's project of his founded business model, namely Smart City Home.in, which represents an eco-friendly smart lifestyle with a holistic approach towards smart homes that includes renewable energy and renewable resources, as well as other various technologies that has been discussed in this series of alternative futuristic technologies. So friends, let me ask you, do you think these kind of advancements will help solutions to global warming or climatic change? And today, we are going to discuss on yet another amazing technology known as neuromorphic computing. As you know, I try and make you understand technology easy for you. And I would like to say here that neuromorphic processors are inspired by human brains, and the purpose of this technology is to mimic the brain's dynamic learning capabilities and power efficiency. I'd like to describe a neuromorphic computing as looking how a biological brain compute and trying to make computers think and process more like our brain processes. Well, do you know that our brain operates around at 20 watts, which may be say like a light bulb or half of a standard laptop consumption. Today's most powerful AI neural networks and AI algorithms are loosely based on intricate webs of real neural networks. But running these algorithms on computer uses shocking amounts of energy, like biggest models consume nearly much power as 5 cars over their lifetimes. In this comparison, what a great creation with a highly efficient brains we all have, such that we can do simultaneous process data as we can observe things and also do a creative thinking while I can talk on innovation. All this being just done at 20 watts of power. Now you may ask me, is neuromorphic computing a hardware or software? Well, it refers to both computing elements. Technically speaking, neuromorphic computing is a method of computer engineering that will also include computer science, biology, mathematics, electronic engineering and physics, in which the elements of a computer are modeled after the systems in the human brain and the nerve system. As I'm saying, few techie audience are finding this very interesting and want to know why and how does neuromorphic computing work. Well, traditional neural network and machine learning computation are well suited for existing algorithms, but issue is that it provides either fast computation or low power, often achieving one at the expense of the other. Neuromorphic systems, on the other hand, achieve both faster computation and low power consumption as they are event-driven, meaning they can respond to event-based on variable environmental conditions and only the parts will use power of the computer that are in use. Also, they can handle many tasks at once. To say, they are highly massively parallel as well as high in adaptability and plasticity. Not the least, neuromorphic processors are strong and fault tolerant, meaning it can still produce results after the components have failed. Talking about technicalities, neuromorphic computing achieves this brain-like function by building artificial neural systems that implement neurons, which is the actual nodes that processes information, and synapses, that is the connection between those nodes to transfer electric signals using analog circuitry. Another terminology we must note is known as S and N, This is the spiking neural network, which is the system of neurons and synapses that transmit these electric pulses that can measure the discrete analog changes that are not present in traditional neural networks that use less than nuisance digital signals. This enables them to modulate the amount of electricity flowing between those nodes to mimic the varying degrees of strength that naturally occurring brain signals have. Further, digging deeper into technology insights, neuromorphic chips are packed with artificial neurons and artificial synapses that mimic the activity spikes that occur within the human brain. All these processing are handled on a chip, which results in smarter computing with far more energy efficient systems. There are neuromorphic vision sensors. These are bi-inspired cameras that capture vitality of a scene with ultra-low latency. Here, the movement is captured as a continuous stream of nothing is lost between these frames. Thus, do you realize that unlike traditional frame based on cameras, such event-based sensors transmit data only when a pixel detects a change. This is how an algorithm use a brain's communication signal can now work on analog neuromorphic chips, which closely mimic energy-efficient brains. It can also solve novel problems and adapt to new environments very quickly. To conclude, there are two goals of neuromorphic computing. First is to acquire new information, and second is to create a device that can learn, retain information, and can even make logical deductions the way a human brain can. This is a cognition machine. In this way, obvious advantages of neuromorphic computing compared to traditional approaches are energy efficiency, execution speed, robustness against local failures, and the ability to learn. And I believe this is really futuristic, as it could become the energy savings of future of AI. As I speak, you are listening and understanding, isn't it? This is how we humans use our natural languages, like English. Right now, or as at times I mix English with Hindi, Karaik Gujarati or Punjabi, so as to communicate with the other person and get his reply or reaction. Thus, a common language is what makes a full-way communication possible and makes a human behavior intelligent. Now, we engineers want the same thing a computer should replicate, and that is intelligent and logical communication between a machine to human or vice versa, or even machine to machine. They should perform this NLP, that is natural language processing. And that's our today's topic of the day. Interesting? So, what is NLP? Well, natural language processing is a branch of artificial intelligence concerned with giving computers the ability to understand text and these spoken words in much time, say, we human beings can. NLP makes it possible for computers to read, hear speech and interpret it, measure segment and determine which parts are important so as to interact with the humans. Now you may be curious to know how NLP model works technically. Well, let me explain you it in simple words, which is otherwise technical. That is, in natural language processing, human language is separated into figments, that is tokenization. So that the grammatical structure of a sentences and the meaning of words can be analyzed by the understood and in appropriate context by the algorithms or a machine program. This helps in read and understand spoken or written text in the same way as human beings can. Technically speaking, there's an input to program with automatic speech recognition, which goes for interpretation, NLU, that is natural language understanding, wherein to say, for example, if I quote, a technology is an obedient servant, And if you are not a part of the steamroller of this Swift technologies, you are part of the road. It's people who are passionate of changing the world can really do it. This is Swayam quoted. So excuse for any mistake, but what I'm trying to explain is that in NLU each word is tokenized and processed for interpretation in context to a human understanding through artificial intelligence program. Once this program is cleared, it then goes for validation, and the user with the text and sentence planning deal with structured data rather. Then you get a logical output so as to satisfy the user interaction purpose. Now let's understand what are the applications of NLP. There are many, but let's discuss a few important ones like speech recognition. For example, hey Google or Alexa. In future, I may come with Swayam's own voice commander through my Python coding which can recognize your speaking. What I can do is that it will give a reply against any query. Similarly, another application is a smart chatbot, wherein the answer of a question of a human being is given by the machine from its built-in database or knowledge base, such as it can give a valid reply. Third, we can also have a machine translation so as to understand or interpret an unknown language. Similarly, another application of NLP is sentiment analysis, like we can use out of tweets of social media, like a good or bad reaction. But before we continue, you feel to comment your good or bad reaction on this video. You may also use some gestures like thumbs up or smiley. And if you are really enjoying so far, since we are talking about gestures, so why not to understand another trending technology, that is gesture computing. Well, for your comments etc., you maybe use HMI, that is human machine interface, like a touch screen or keyboard or mouse. But what if I say a human body can interact with a digital resource component without such HMI? Good news is that it is possible with gesture-based computing, and I'm working on it in my R&D innovation of Amazon smart wearable glasses with voice commands and hand gestures. Basically, gesture recognition is the science behind the computer hardware and software that allows them to recognize human gestures as input. In other words, a gesture computing is a type of user interface that allows computer to capture and recognize a human movement or gesture, convert into information into a data stream that can be used for various purposes. Gesture-based VR refers to using a physical gestures in order to operate an interface. Let's take your smartphone for instance. You already interact with your phone without using the keypad by touching, swiping, pinching and scrolling. So, instead of typing with keyboard or tapping your touch screen, gesture computing perceive and understand movements as a primary source of input data, which can be either touch-based system or touchless, which is the process of commanding the computer via body motion and gestures without touching a keyboard, mouse or screen. To give you a technical insight, in this technology uses sensors to read and interpret human movements and etc. as commanded by a computing device. To dig further, device-based techniques use a glove system, a stylus or some other position tracker which can identify gesture upon some movements that some signal gets sent into the system. Like in my planned Amazon smart wearable glasses, I am innovating and experimenting ultrasonic emitter with some signal on index finger and the receiver capable of tracking the position of the emitter is mounted on my Swayam glasses. I'm also working on bend sensor on the index finger and elevation. Additionally, I'll be trying with thin fiber optic cables running down for light signal through a crack. Then the gesture recognition algorithm using SVM, that is support vector machines, and few other models used to clarify gestures. You see, I'm trying to convey here that technologies which in making that can bring a convenience to you users. These interfaces could enable a more active and intuitive learning style that often seems more like a play. And I can assure you that if I succeed in making of my innovative smart glasses, then it will be fun with information to do with augmented reality. Such gesture-based systems may offer new ways to interact with the immersive 3D content to investigate immersive scenarios. Now, let us discuss on the working of gesture recognition technology. Several technologies are in use for gesture recognition, with most featuring a combination of 3D depth sensing cameras with IR cameras. If I have to explain this in steps, the first is the wait state, where the machine is waiting for the user to perform a gesture and provide it an input to it. Second is collect state, that is, that after the gesture is being performed by the user, the machine gathers the information conveyed by it. The next step will be manipulate state or processing state. Here, the system has gathered enough data from the user or has ultimately given an input. Ultimately, it will be an execution state where the system performs the task that has been asked by the user to do through the gesture. Hope you are finding my talk useful, but before I conclude, let me say that this study is a part of my dream innovation of Amazon smart wearable glasses. As with the many advances in technical aspects, ideas and creative conceptions, wherein you can live in a world where you can interact with computers as you would interact with each other human beings. You see, adding support for various types of gestures towards things like my smart glasses enables us to use our natural languages to operate these devices, which is much more intuitive and effortless when compared to a touching screen or using mouse or using remote control or pressing a switch. Welcome and virtual greetings to all in the 17th day of Futuristic on the 13th day of 9th month, and it's my 9th birthday today, along with my nation's Prime Minister Narendra Modi's birthday. Interestingly, there are double of 9, triplets of 17, so the topic I've chosen for today is digital twin and triplet. Excited to know more about this awesome technology? Let's deep dive into it. In my introduction, I'd like to say two things. Firstly, it's absurd that some largest companies like Google, etc. disrupt their respective markets using computational systems to provide information, collect data, and continuously optimize the processes. Secondly, about non-destructive testing and inspections, that has been a cornerstone of quality checks across all industries, like airplanes routinely take off and land all the time. Or another example could be some phones that seem to be effortlessly connected with satellites miles up in the sky, writing codes around our Earth so effortlessly. Now, such high-end city inspections of complex engine parts, for drip tests, and city scanning for microscopic structure of what's inside a battery. These tests from the backbone of this seems to be just work for most of the part. You see, technology advanced companies benefit from core businesses that are fully digital. Infrastructure planning activities center on physical equipment and the built environment. These assets can be visualized using simulations and so-called digital twins, which enable automated analysis and invaluable insights. HSA digital twin is a virtual replica or a representation of an object or a system that spans its life cycle, like an aircraft or a cell phone, or could be any asset like my plant from smart wearable glasses that is stored at a computer. And further, it's updated from real-time data and uses simulation along with AI/ML technologies. Thus, a virtual twin go to the same life cycle as a physical object, and such as takes off and landings or phone calls as discussed earlier. This way, it's possible to get a clear picture of how to predict the potential failures of the product and extend its life. To give you more insight, there can be various type of twin depending on the level of product magnification and the area of application, such as asset twin, process twin, system twin, component twin, or part twin, etc. Pat, your question may be that how does twin works? That was my obvious question when I was trying to understand this topic before conveying to you via the C-Talk, of course. So, you see, in this channel, I make you understand technology with ease. So, better let's be clear. Digital twin is a virtual model designed to accurately reflect a physical object that is being studied. For example, my Swayam Sodha glasses is outfitted with various sensors related to important areas of functionality. It all begins with an expert research the physics and operational data or a physical object or system in order to develop a mathematical model that simulates the original. Next is a developer like me who can create digital twin to ensure that the virtual computer model can receive feedback from sensors that gather data from the real world. These sensors produce data about different aspects of the physical object's performance, such as energy output, temperature, and more. This data is then relayed to a computer system and applied to a digital copy for data so that the virtual model can be used to run simulations, do performance analysis, and generate insightful improvements, ultimately which can be applied back to the original physical object. You see, a connected product design requires a different mindset where you shall put sensors to collect data. How will you connect to the internet? Is your connection secure, reliable? How will you update the firmware? How will the product work in larger number of assets? Depending on interconnected products means high IQ skill sets, competitions and challenges for a company. Continuous planning systems comprised of digital twins, machine learning, optimization models, and online marketplaces is the need of an hour. So, as to create a new paradigm in product reliability, many companies are working together to bring industrial inspection and digital twins together. This is called a digital triplet, and it's a three-tiered approach with data science to leveraging inspection data in order to drive across generational improvements in product design and manufacturing. Thus, operational parameters monitoring can provide deep insights into the actual condition of the mirrored asset, forming a digital triplet. To sum up, in order to execute this twinning technology, namely digital triplet, we need to ensure that the entire value chain adopts it, including the OEMs, operators, external inspection agencies, and regularity agencies. All that remains is to connect these inspection life cycles with the product or the process life cycles. As a technocrat, I believe that these digital triplets are an important step towards the journey to be free of inspection, from this stage of using inspections to be away from any critical defects, and after getting to the point of using inspections to improve product manufacturing and performance. To conclude, this technology has a great long run that will lead towards detecting defects to avoid them at all. a computer programmer, and your technology coach Swayam Sodha, and I try and make technology easy for you. To admit, today's topic is more of a personal interest, which perhaps you may have not heard of, but I'm pretty sure that by the end of the sea talk, you will find it very interesting. So stay till the end with your likes and comment that really motivate me further. Now without delay, let's focus on a topic that is graphene technology. In my opinion, we are about to discuss in this series, which is going to become a game changer, and I like to call it as the graphene age. Just like human race progressed from Stone Age to Bronze Age to Iron Age, and so on. So, what's most interesting about graphene is that the ultimate material, in my opinion, that is not actually designed, but it has been with us all the time. Actually, we all have been playing with it since we started using our pencils. Graphene is a single layer of graphite, a soft breakable material used in pencil lead. But when graphene is isolated from graphite, it takes some miraculous properties. It's like mere 1 atom thick. Thus, a graphene is about 1 layer of atom. Yet, graphene is a material 40 times more stronger than diamond, but yet the slimmest and most malleable material in known existence. Just like diamond, graphene is a form of carbon, and it's composed from a single sheet in a flat hexagon pattern. Graphene is basically, or to say technically, used in coatings, sensors, electronics, and more. Thus, this wonder material has lots of promise for additional applications like anti-corrosion coatings and paints, efficient and precise sensors, faster and efficient electronics, flexible displays, efficient solar panels, faster DNA sequencing, drug delivery, and more. Graphene has been dubbed the material of the future, and it is 200 times more stronger than steel, while it is a transparent and flexible conductor. Can be also used to manufacture photovoltaic cells for solar panel, or used as rollable displays and LED touch panels, as well as LED lights. For my R&D project on is an ideal material for sensors as well as electronic. Every atom in graphene is exposed to it as an environment, allowing its sensors to change in its surroundings. My preference towards graphene is because it can potentially change the way our devices look, feel, perform, and even interact with our bodies. And it will influence the world of tech due to following reasons. First, stronger than steel, as I discussed earlier. Second, flexible like rubber. Graphene is also resistant to water, and so flexible material could potentially usher in a new generation of waterproof devices whose chances may not to be sealed like today's devices. 3. It's the lightest and the thinnest devices ever. The material holds a ton of tech potential, as we could someday see a paper-thin products like my plans for Amazon smart wearable glasses or meals, tablets, etc. 4. It has incredible battery life. Graphene will likely influence not just how devices look and feel, but how long they last. And not the least, the way it works with our body. Graphene has the potential to interact with your biological systems. This implies it takes today's fitness tracking tech to all new heights, as graphene sensors could potentially possibly scan a nerve system and maybe talk to my future Amazon smart wearable glasses. Further, I can bet on use of graphene in electronics, as it conducts electricity better than any other material. Further, it's very resistant and it does not break. It is flexible and transparent. Accordingly, graphene being both conductive and flexible and integrable with other materials seems a logical material for my R&D products, smart wearable products, if my kind of development to make it to the market due to time. I can best hope that graphene will not be in just every home but also in every body. One important thing of the potential usages of graphene is construction industry, like my dad's plant Swayam Sodha Smart City Home concept, because graphene is strong and light. At the same time, it can be used instead of steel. The future of technology could hinge on this single material graphene is a potential disruptive technology that once could even open up new markets and even replace existing technologies or the materials like silicon, as it is when graphene is used both to improve an existing material and in a transformable capacity, and it is true that potentially can be released. I hope graphene could easily be available to innovators like us and become a wonder material in its weight and watch. But I firmly believe that graphene can bring magic in a life with such trending technologies as discussed in this proof series, which stands for Swayam Alternative Futuristic Technologies. Hi friends, with our newest growing community of viewership, I thank you all for supporting me. And I'm your technology coach Swayam Sodha, and I'm back with yet another promising technology that will probably take away the energy source problems in future. Interestingly, there's limitless such energy source shining on us every day, just waiting for the source through renewable means. But until now, this efficiency technology was a myth. Can you guess what we are talking about today? Yes, you got it right. We are talking about solar energy and solar panels. Basically, solar technologies convert sunlight into electrical energy, either through mirrors that concentrate on solar radiation or through photovoltaic cells, also shortly called as PV cells. This energy can be used to generate electricity or be stored in batteries or thermal storage. These can be used in our homes, businesses and industry to use diversify energy sources, improve efficiency and save money. My channel Beyond General Talks, I know you would like to gain insights into the technical aspects. So for my techie audience, let's examine how solar panels converts energy into electrical energy. There are a variety of solar technologies that convert sunlight into usable energy for buildings, which I'll go in this presentation soon. But for basic understanding, as of today, the most commonly used solar technologies for homes and businesses are solar PV or photovoltaic, for energy and passive solar, for space heating and cooling, and solar water heating. So, let me explain you in the inside working of solar panels. Just focus here. To begin with, think the light shooting out from sun as full of tiny particles called photons. The most commonly used solar panels of small units, silicon cell, are ideally made up of a silicon, a semiconductor. A G-twisted silicon is sandwiched between a conductive layer, that is an atom. It is connected in such a way that it keeps electrons in its place. From what I have learned, these silicon cells uses two types of different layers of silicon. First, N-type of silicon, that is extra silicon, and second, P-type silicon, that has extra space for electrons, called holes. Where the two types of silicon meet, the electrons can move around the p-n junction. leaving a positive charge on the one side and the negative charge on the other side. The real action begins when light flowing through those tiny particles called photons strike the silicon cell with enough energy such that it can knock the electron from its bond, leaving a hole. As a result, the negatively charged electron at the location of positively charged hole are now free to move around. But because of the electric field at p-n junction, they all go only one way. In this way, the electron is drawn to the n side while the hole is drawn to the p side. These mobile electrons are connected by thin metal fingers at the top of the solar cell. From there, they flow through an external circuit, doing electric work like powering a light bulb and returning to the before returning to the conductor sheet on the batch. This is how the solar system works. For some more information, I'd like to share that each silicon cell put only half a watt. But we can string them together in a module to get more power and increase the efficiency. You see, electrons are only the moving particles in a solar cell and they all go back from where they have come from. You see, there's nothing to get worn out or go bad. So life of solar cells can be in decades. Hope my explanation on the technical aspect was clear so far. To continue, now I'd like to apparently mention various solar technologies like solar photovoltaic, then we have passive solar technology, also we have solar water heating, solar processor heating. Similarly, it has concentrated for energy and not the least solar thermal for heating. To give you some idea of a variety of solar being applied. To add more, I also need to mention about the monocrystalline solar panels, which is popular today, as well as the recent development in solar technology so far, and known as the thin films, which is lightweight, flexible, and easy to install. I'm personally excited about perovskite cells and printable solar technology. Thus, you see, as time is advancing, innovators like me are discovering new techniques for developing the amazing solar technology for shaping the future. To share few least trends, scientists have discovered bio-solar cells. Someone has came out with idea of floating solar cells, floating solar farms, and it's possible to transmit solar power wirelessly from space. Exciting! How about solar energy harvesting trees? Yes, beyond sky is the limit in our world of technologies. Now, talking about obvious advantages of having a solar energy, that is renewable source with diverse applications and low maintenance costs and help us save money with reduced electricity bill. On the dark side, that is if we have to talk about the disadvantages of today's solar panels, it has a high upfront cost and subject to sunny weather that cannot be used at night or foggy environment, and not the least, the overall energy conservation rate is low as of now. But what are the disadvantages today? I'd like to say that I'm personally optimistic about this future solar technology. Although today many people are of negative opinion to say, well, solar panels aren't efficient enough. I laugh at this line of thinking that solar, because technologies that we have for granted today, like 4G smartphones, were the breakthrough of a decade ago. So, breakthrough today are where things are heading, and benchmark is how to target efficiency rate and right type of material to get into commercial use. themselves while negotiating the price at the charging station and even settle up the bill. So this possible use case was just to excite you for today's topic, and I'm your technology coach Swayam Sodha, and I try and make technology easy for you. Well, we will be discussing on DLT blockchain today, as it is one of the big talking points today, and I feel it will influence our lives with a new phrase of internet. So, what is DLT, by the way? It stands for Distributed Ledger Technology, which is a decentralized database managed by multiple participating members across multiple nodes that can supplement the data stored there. Not certainly in a cloud, rather functioning as a decentralized peer-to-peer network. However, unlike traditional databases, distributed ledgers have no central data store or administrative functionality. On the other hand, is a blockchain type of DLT, where transactions are recorded with an immutable cryptographic signature called a hash. Blockchain stores information across the network of postal computers, making them not just decentralized but also distributed. Blockchain, on its simple definition, is a data structure used to create a decentralized ledger. Okay, well, it's contains blocks with a serialized manner. A block contains the transactions of a hash, and it goes till its previous block and its starting point, and all of these forms a blockchain, which is a digital ledger that stores data in blocks. All these blocks are distributed amongst all participators, and be it organization or people of their respective nodes of their computers, including virtual machine in the network on which the ledger, wallet or application reside. For the information of my techie friends, a traditional database like RDBMS or NoSQL databases is also used to store data such as the timestamp block, reward, block number, and so on. Later, I am going to share with you about the latest trend, which is Big Chain DB. But now let's focus on the basic. You see, as we discussed about the entire blockchain system gets organized to hold a bundle of records in its chronological chain. For your knowledge, the blockchain uses forms of maths called cryptography to ensure that the records can not be changed by anyone, and the safety of records is maintained all the time. In simpler words, a blockchain uses DLT to record, confirm, and process the transactions to bring more security, transparency, and efficiency to the network. You will find this interesting to note that there are different forms of DLT designs other than blockchain, just as a blockchain has a Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS, etc., in which there are list of records that is linked blocks that are cryptographically arranged. There's also another interesting category of DLT, that is direct acyclic graphs, that is DAG, like IOTA hash graphs, etc. Here we have no block time, so the transaction process in DAG is faster than the blockchain. This happens because of the decision to approve or reject the transaction depends upon the miners or validators in the blockchain system. Kindly know that distributed ledgers can be classified as private, public, permissioned, permissionless, or any combination of the two. Now, for hardcore developers like me and other software engineering professionals, let me highlight on few tools that we need to know to execute a blockchain. First, Solidity. It's an object-oriented programming language for implementing smart contracts on various blockchain platforms. But that's not enough. There's a whole ecosystem of software and tools in your participation environment. So, for your internal blockchain environment, once you learn Ganache for setting up a personal blockchain for testing and interacting with your Solidity contracts in your own private way. Similarly, we have other tools like Tuffer, Drizzle. These are used as it for pipeline testing framework, etc. For developing smart contracts. By the way, what is smart contract? Technically, it's simply a software code that automates the executable terms of NLP, natural language contract, in a manner that is agreed to between contractual parties or buyers and sellers. Basically, it's a ecosystem for manual agreement to be automated in real time to ensure trust and efficiency. To sum up, there are 5 elements of a blockchain, namely peer-to-peer network, cryptography, consequences, algorithms, punishment and reward, and of course market adoption like Ethereum. But let me also clarify that there are many more platforms other than Ethereum like Calido, Azure Blockchain Workbench, IBM Blockchain Platform, Corda, Hyperledge, to name few. Coming next, advancement is BigchainDB. It's nothing but a blockchain database offering decentralization, immutability, and native assets. BigchainDB allows a variety of deployment of a large-scale applications in a variety of use cases and industries from intellectual property and identified to supply chain and Internet of Things. BigchainDB allows developers and enterprise to deploy blockchain proof of concepts, platforms, and applications with a blockchain database supporting a wide range of industries and use cases. Best part about BigchainDB is being open source with the full community backing, with everyone can use it and build their own application on the top of the BigchainDB stack. There are obvious advantages of DLT in general, but the real challenges facing it is like lack of clarity on how the technology will be governed, along with the regulation, then maintaining security and privacy of data by one and all, as the nodes are at the different locations and owned by different parties. But whatever are the issues, I will say where's has a will, there's a way. I personally believe that in future, blockchain will become a dependable, that it will be able to manage and verify online data. It can possibly make self-driving cars safer with negotiation AI capabilities. Or maybe I can launch my company like Swayam Sodha Smarter Firm that is entirely run by algorithms. Surely, with advancement, it can even track countless devices, while blockchain can even help us protect our online identities, and these innovations will change our lives for good. And it's just beginning. Hi friends, I'm feeling excited to present this episode. As much as I love Army Man who secure nation from external attacks, So we'll be at today's discussion on securing an organization against outsider cyber attack. In my previous talk, we discussed on a closed loop system of trust and security amongst set number of participants. That was blockchain. But what about the whole internet worldwide? You see, on one hand, various smart gadgets has helped us giving great comfort, and technologies with AI, machine learning are set to play a crucial role in all sectors. But the flip side is there is also an enormous challenge in protecting our data and integrity of computing assets. Do you agree? You see, there are lots of data in our phones, laptops, like our daily schedules, private photos, text, emails, banking password that we do not want to share it with strangers. How safe is it and what we can do to make it safe? Let's discuss in this series of Swayam with native futuristic technologies. First of all, we will discuss on various cyber attacks, followed by my motto of ethical hacking, and then I will share some best tips for cyber security. So, what is a cyber attack? To know, cyber attack is a digital attack, a single or more done by cyber criminals using one or more computers to digitally attack a single or more computers or network. Consequently, it can delete or disable your computers and steal data or use the breached computer as a launch point for other attack. Now, such cyber attack can be executed from anywhere in the world using various attack strategies. In such a scenario, vulnerabilities on the system from virtual space is creating the havoc. A motive behind a cyber attack could be causing financial loss to the target or blackmailing or demanding ransom. Also, another reason could be damaging reputation of targeted or information theft and manipulating data or even business continuity or creating chaos by disrupting official infrastructure. You see, information leaks, security breaches, hacks, common data theft and other cyber attacks are becoming more common. And I say, cyber attack is bound to happen with a consistent connections on internet. I read somewhere there's a strange comforting knowing that no matter what happens today the sun will rise again tomorrow. So rather than being scared or ignoring cyber attacks, we should make a security culture and we should ensure that our computer systems via internet resilient to them with computer security techniques like enabling firewalls, secure password, saying no to phishing, using antivirus regular updates and so on. You see, the real risk is either inaction or not knowing what are you doing. So let's deep dive into the subject. Foremost, kindly note that cybersecurity, which is a broader subject that includes many networks and information security mechanisms such as data security, digital forensics, ethical hacking and many more. Now, let us understand some types of cyber attacks just for understanding and trying to get into the shoes of a hacker. First, malware attack. It refers to viruses including worms, spyware, ransomware, adware and trojans. To understand the differences, adware is a software that displays advertising content such as banners on a user screen. The Trojan virus disguises itself as a legitimate software, whereas ransomware blocks the access to the network's key components, while spyware is a software that steals all your confidential data without your knowledge. Second type is phishing attacks, which is a social engineering attack wherein an attacker impersonates to be a trusted contact and sends the victim fake mails. Unaware of this, the victim opens the mail and clicks on the malicious link or opens the mail's attachment. By doing so, attackers gain access to confidential information and account credentials. Third could be password attack like brute force attack, dictionary attacks and keylogger attacks, which is a form of an attack wherein an attacker cracks your password with various programs and password cracking tools like AirCrack, Hashcat, Kane, John the Ripper, etc. Next is MITM, that is man in the middle attack, in which an attacker comes in between a two-party communication, that is, the attacker hijacks the session between a client and host. Here, the client-server communication gets cut off and instead the communication line goes through the hacker, and this is how hackers steal and manipulate data. Fifth type could be SQL, that is structured query language injection attack. At a high level, it occurs on a database-driven website when the hacker manipulates a standard SQL query. It is carried by injecting a malicious code into targeted website search box, thereby making the server reveal crucial information, thereby an attacker being able to view, edit, delete the tables in the databases. Worst will be, and attackers can also gain administrative rights through this. Another one is a denial of service attack, wherein attackers target systems, servers or networks and flood them with traffic to exhaust their resources and bandwidth. When this happens, catering to the incoming request becomes overwhelming for the servers, resulting in the website it hosts either shut down or slow down. This leaves the legitimate request unattended. Seventh case can be of cryptojacking, where a hacker may use online ads with JavaScript code, which is crypto mining code, wherein working in the background. Talking next is an insider threat. It does not involve any third party but an insider who could be an individual from within the organization who knows everything about it. Another case can be a zero-day exploit, which typically happens after the announcement of a network vulnerability and there's a confusion everywhere. As a awareness campaign for the users, the vendor notifies the vulnerability. However, this news also reaches the attackers. Depending on the vulnerability, the vendor or developer could take any amount of time to fix the issue. Meanwhile, the attackers exploit the vulnerability even before a patch or solution is implemented for it. Next type of a cyber attack scenario could be aware of a watering hole attack, wherein the victim is a particular group of an organization, region, etc. In such a hack, the attacker targets websites which are frequently used by the targeted group. The attackers infect these websites with malware, which infects the victim's system. The malware in such an attack targets the user's personal information, and possibly the hacker may take remote access to the infected computer. Oh my god, those are some types of cyber attacks in reality. But let me narrow down my discussion today on what I professionally wish to become, namely ethical hacker. Yes, Don't be scared if they're chore or thieves. There's also a police or a CID, and I will be there at your service trying to save you from evils. How? Let's understand the basics. Well, theoretically speaking, hacking is an attempt to exploit a computer system or a private network inside a computer. Simply put it as the unauthorized access to or control over computer network security systems for some elect purpose, and such malicious computer hackers are now commonly known as hacktivists. Since they are skilled programmers who gain unauthorized access to systems by exploiting vulnerabilities, such hacktivists' goal may be achieved while using techniques to guess passwords, penetrate networks, or disrupt services. For the most part, malicious or unethical hacking is driven by the desire to gain valuable information or money. However, not every hacking is injurious. There is something called as ethical hacking, which is the second sort of hacking. You may be asking yourself, what is ethical hacking? What do they do? And why does it matter? To understand this, let's first understand the variety of hacker types you will see around the internet. First, let's begin on a positive note with white hat hackers. These are talented, good individuals when it comes to helping against cyber attack when on the dark web. White hat hackers help the government and corporations by running penetration tests and uncovering security issues. With due permissions, they hack into your system to detect loopholes and help you remove viruses and malware, thereby protecting against black hat hackers and other online crooks. So, here's the second type, who is black hat hackers. They are main source of most cyber crimes on the internet. Most of the time, the agenda of black hat hackers is just money. These hackers look for flaws in individual computers, in businesses, and typically finance systems. Then, they can hack into your network and gain access to your personal, business, and financial information by misusing any flaws in the system they find. Thus, they are knowledgeable hacktivists but putting their knowledge to bad use. In between two is a third type known as grey hat hackers. They are known not to use their skills for personal gain, but they have both noble and evil objectives for using their computer skills. For instance, a hacker who hacks into, let's say, your mobile and finds some vulnerability may leak it over the internet for fun or just show off his over-smart skills. However, as soon as these hackers put their hacking skills for personal gains by demanding money, they become black hat hackers. Amongst about 3 broad types, of course you all will love white hat hackers, but I'd also like to add another hacker type, that is elite hacker. It's because he's the one who will be the first to know about any new vulnerabilities that have been discovered. Well, there are few other types like red hat hacker, blue hat hacker, and others, but let's not overstretch for valuable time, as I believe you got an idea about variety of hackers beyond the vulnerable black hat villain. So now, let's discuss on my subject of interest and service, that is ethical hacking. To begin with, let me highlight what skills we need to have a good ethical hacker. The number one skill is basic computer environment like operating systems such as Linux, Windows, Macintosh, Unix, etc. and web applications. Then comes networking knowledge about DNS, private and public IP, then IPv4, IPv6, subnetting, routers and switches, NAT, DHCP, VLAN, OSI model, and so on. Just to admit, I'm still learning and above are part of my course as I'm deeply pursuing in ethical hacking. Another important skill I believe is programming language like Python, JavaScript, SQL, and few other core. Now you may ask me why coding is important to an ethical hacker. Well, I say programming is all about the flow of data that we can feed into a program for correct interpretation. A program has its own data, and of this machine data can be combined to represent ideas and provide to use both the program and the user. Hope it's clear. In addition, needless to say, a security concept like PKI, that is Public Key Infrastructure, SSL, that is Secured Sockets Layer, and IDS, that is Intrusion Detection System, etc. And such technologies must be clear for this service of protecting against someone's digital asset. Similarly, reverse engineering basic needs to be clear as it is another thing in this virtualization for safe testing and referring our hacks with good logic for resolving issues. Not the least, database knowledge and cryptography will be beneficial. If some of you are planning to work as an ethical hacker, I wish you to do good and be good. Now someone may ask me what hardware like a laptop or RAM should I use? Okay, I can give you some hint on this. It is recommended to have at least 16 GB RAM to enable smooth running. But my advice will be to have 32 GB RAM and any branded laptop like HP, Samsung, iMac, Lenovo, etc. with CPU iCore 5 and above. By now, the importance of ethical hacking is obvious. So let's understand some of the different types of ethical hacking scenarios, if not all. Few examples may be password security evaluation and testing. Then, to verify the network security settings as well as the degree of data administration privileges are up to date. Another could be penetration test, which should be performed on every software update or patch. Also, as discussed earlier, to prevent the eavesdropping of data, there could be a need for accuracy of authentication procedures to ensure that applications are protected by security measures that secure organization and user data. Another case could be steps to prevent denial of service attacks. Similarly, not the least, an examination of the effectiveness of network anti-intrusion measures. To make it more clear, let us now distinguish among types of ethical hacking. First, web application hacking. In this, visual Chrome browser of a program is attacked as the URI is manipulated or elements of HTTP other than those included in the URI collaborate within the web application hacking. Next, we talk about system hacking. You see, hackers may get unauthorized data by access to a computer network against which IT security guy can protect themselves from these threats using password cracking, backdoors, malicious software creation and packet sniffing. Next is web server hacking. In this, a real-time web data is generated by a server running a software application database. Some of the tactics attackers might use to compromise an online site can be ping floods, port scans, sniffer attacks, social engineering, etc. Next, we talk about hacking wireless networks. Typically, a hacker may use a nearby radio frequency transmitter and can easily overwhelm a wireless network. These hackers often utilize network sniffing to discover a wireless network's unique identity and mess with it. Last, not the least, let's talk about social engineering. What is it? Well, getting individuals to provide personal information is social engineering. Thieves may take advantage of your mistrust, and so be aware. Don't worry, they are good tools for ethical hackers to handle a job. After all, it's a process of using various types of tools or technology in the form of computer programs and scripts to get to unauthorized data for the security measures of a computer system or network. You see, broadly there are different sections in this work of ethical hacking, such as web hacking and penetrating, then exploiting writing with a high-level language like Python socket programming, and the other section is reverse engineering, which is an act of tempering software applications to make them work out the way so that they can instruct machine, hardware and software with this. Basically, hacking tools and software are nothing but just computer programs or a complex type of script designed by the developers that are used by hackers to know the weakness in computer OS, various web applications as well as servers and networks. Some of the most famous hacking tools in the market are Nmap, which is network mapper, Invictus, Intruder, Metasploit, Nuisance, Nikto, Kismet, Netspacker and many more. To explain few of them, Nmap is an open source security and a port scanner as well as a network exploitation tool, and we can use it for network inventory, monitoring host and service uptime, and managing service upgrade schedules. Next is Invicti, which is a web application security scanner hacking tool to find SQL injection, XSS and vulnerabilities in web applications or services automatically. Another hacking tool is Kismet, used for testing wireless networks and hacking of wireless LAN or war driving. It passively identifies networks and collects packages and detects non-beaconing and hidden networks with the help of data traffic. The list is big, but let me also highlight about a completely automated scanner known as Intruder. This tool searches for cybersecurity weaknesses, explains the risk found, and helps address them, and it offers over 9,000 security checks as on date. Now, if I have to play a role of an ethical hacker and come to protect the owners like you as individuals or enterprises or government at large, it becomes our duty to proactively measures to defend systems from hackers with malicious objectives. At a recent conference I attended amidst all corporate CISO experts at Taj President Hotel in Mumbai. One of the experts suggested me that if I am working as an ethical hacker, I should think like a black hat hacker and attempt to duplicating strategies and actions of malicious attackers to find flaws, data breaches and other potential dangers and gain unauthorized access to a computer system, application or data, but with the permission of the owner. The idea behind this is penetration testing to look for the issues with firewalls potentially being misconfigured, problems with third-party applications or weaknesses in email servers, and so on. So, if I have to ethically hack someone's computer system, what I will do? Are you interested in this? Okay, let me share. Before launching an attack, my first step will be to collect all necessary information about the organization system. Think of a robber trying to enter into someone's house and looking for some weak spot to enter in through. A window, if not the main door. Similarly, coming from a cyber side, I'll try to exploit the initial vulnerability of that organization using tools like Nmap, etc. and scan to try and exploit loopholes and gain access into the organization network. Once I get through some endpoints, I will try to patiently maintain my access for future attack by installing backdoors in the target system. So I may use Metasploit tool to help me with this. In this way, I'll attack at the right time to grab information, destroy some files, etc. But as I'm thinking like a hacker, I don't want to leave any evidence. So I will try cleaning tracks. In this way, my hacking work is done, but job is not done yet. Importantly, I will have to do my best reporting with documents of summary of my entire attack as an ethical hacker. My reporting will need to cover all such vulnerabilities that I observed so that my client can further protect his system from real crooks of outside hacktivists. To enlighten further, those who wish to enter into this profession of ethical hacking know that this profession adhere to 4 basic protocols. First and foremost, stay within the bounds of the law. Ensure that we perform a security evaluation only if we have the correct permissions. Second, determine the scope of the project size. Thereby we need to know the size or scale of the investigation. Third, report flaws in the system as our duty. Send a notification with full report to the owners or organization detailing any vulnerabilities with some solution that were detected during this evaluation. Fourth is to keep in mind that the sensitive information we are dealing with is very sensitive and we may be required to sign a non-disclosure agreement in addition to any extra terms and conditions imposed by the firm. I hope this discussion was useful so far, and I'm sure technical people are gaining insights on the latest advancement these days. Cybersecurity has its own automation tools like SOAR, which is the value of security orchestration, automation and response. It is for reducing the human effort of performing tasks, facilitating the fusion of data between multiple systems and offering guidelines when exploring new scenarios. However, it's essential to know that no single specific technology is associated with zero trust architecture. What is it, by the way? The zero trust is a security model based on the principle of maintaining strict access controls and not trusting anyone by default. It is a holistic approach to network security that incorporates a number of different principles and technologies, and I as an ethical hacker would like to endorse this. Before ending this long session so far, and I understand some of you might be saturated, so let me share some tips to prevent cyber attack. These are the tips you must implement to protect your systems and networks from a cyber attack. To begin with, change your passwords regularly and use strong alphanumeric passwords which are difficult to crack. But do not use the same password twice. Refrain from using too complicated passwords that you will tend to forget. Keep updating both your operating system and applications regularly. As a result, the black hat unethical hacker will face difficulty in his breaking into your system and will remove vulnerabilities that hackers tend to exploit. Remember, we discussed about some network security tools, so use them including firewall, intrusion prevention systems, access control, application security, etc. Next, I suggest to make a use of a VPN, that is virtual private network, as this will ensure that it encrypts the traffic between the VPN server and your device to confuse bad hackers. Also, secure your Wi-Fi networks and avoid using public Wi-Fi without using a VPN. Don't get carried away by unsolicited emails and avoid opening emails from unknown senders. Cross-check such unknown emails you receive. Next, it will be a good practice to regularly backing up your data on different media types, so even if there is a cyber attack, you can erase your system's data and restore it with a recently performed backup without getting panic or worry. Hope these tips were useful so far. Just few more before we wind up. Use two-factor or even multi-factor authentication for users to verify themselves, like a username and password, or more if required. Believe me, this proves to be a vital step to secure your account and good for your users also. Further, safeguard your mobile and install apps only from legitimate and trusted sources. Make sure to keep your device updated, as mobiles are also cyber attack target. Not the least, employs our campaign of cybersecurity principles and to do and don't must be educated in case of any skeptical attack is discarded. With all together, the attempts of black hat hackers can be defeated and we ethical hackers will be happy for you. But about tips are only selective and tested. In addition, the way I see cybersecurity is evolving rapidly and becoming one of the coming year's most important technology area. I can see some futuristic trends with many new development advances. For example, artificial intelligence powered by cybersecurity that will be explored to cope with the thousands of events taking place every second. Also, my other concern is increasing number of connected devices, that is IoT, that may become Internet of Vulnerable Things. For example, IoT cyber attackers might even hack connect household appliances like a refrigerator to gain access to networks, and from there go to access a computer or mobile phone where our valuable data could be stored. My advice for any cyber security strategy, it should always be include thorough audit of every device that can be connected or given access to the network. Oh, it's been a long discussion and some of you might be wondering when I will stop talking. So let me leave you with two most important tools when it comes to protecting against vulnerable attacks. These tools are your awareness and continuous education. This is an exciting topic and lot more to dig in this super interesting topic of ethical hacking for cybersecurity. But let me give you a break now. Thanks for your patience hearing, and I hope you got some insights and confidence of maintaining your organization health to stay away from virus, etc. But do not underestimate the need of a doctor who is an ethical hacker like me in the world of cybersecurity. Hi, and welcome once again to this 22nd series of Swayam Sodha Futuristic Technologies. And the topic I will be speaking is on artificial intelligence, which is the most powerful technology available to us today, as AI is becoming less artificial and more intelligent day by day. Do you agree? Although AI will not replace our biological intelligence, yet it will transform our lives and will completely transform our future business and social lives. In fact, we are already using AI and influenced by it. For example, when we do Google search, the results are customized to us, or when we use Facebook, for that matter, we are already interacting with AI more than we realize. There is a deep learning AI that recognizes a photograph on social media and also tag our friends. How a machine knows it? All these are implications of AI, which is much wider reaching than most people actually believe at the moment. For now, let's get into the basics of computer science with AI, and I promise to make it interesting and easy to understand, to relate between we humans and non-human AI. We people speak and listen through languages. In tech field, this is speech recognition. We people can read and write in a language. In tech field, there is natural language processing. We people can see with our eyes and process what we see. In tech field, this is computer vision. We people can recognize the scene around us through our eyes and create an image of our world. In tech field, this is image processing. We people can understand surrounding environment and move around fluidly. In tech field, this is robotics. Likewise, we people can smell, sense, while in the field of technology, there are sensors of various types. We people have the ability to see patterns such as the grouping of similar objects. In tech field, there is pattern recognition. You will agree that machines are better than us at pattern recognition, as they use more data and dimension of data. So, this is machine learning or ML in short. We people have brains, which is a network of neurons. In tech field, this is neuromorphic computing, which I have spoken earlier in this series. Similarly, in tech field, there is a DL or deep learning if we want to replicate the structure and function of a human brain for neural networks that are more complex and deeper. Likewise, there are different types of deep learning and machines with different techniques to replicate what a human brain does. For example, it is CNN, that is a convolutional neural network, which is used to recognize objects in a scene. This computer vision fits in object recognition to accomplish that task through artificial intelligence. This is how AI is concerned with building smart machines capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. In short, artificial intelligence allows the machine to model and even improve upon the capabilities of the human mind. You see, we people have a network of neurons in our brains, and over time we learn. This is how our brain recognizes different things. But we can't actually explain how we do this, right? Still is the case for machine learning algorithms, which is the backbone of AI. We give them millions of images of, let's say, my favorite bird, an eagle, and they are able to learn by themselves. You see, current technologies like ML, GL, neuromorphic computing and soon quantum mechanics, the AI today is at a different level altogether compared to earlier rule-based AI programs with formulas. Today's AI is getting so great that instead of feeding computer formula filled in order to recognize something like a picture snake or rope, we can simply feed that image and it will figure out by itself. Interestingly, there can be 4 types of approaches by AI concerning thought processes, reasoning as well as behavior, like thinking humanly, that is mimicking thought based on the human mind. Then thinking rationally, that is mimicking thought based on logical reasoning. On the behavior side, AI can act humanly, that is acting in a manner that mimics human behavior. Not the least, acting rationally, that is acting in a manner that is meant to achieve a particular goal. Similarly, there can be different categories of AI based on its types and complexity of the task system is able to perform, like automated spam filtering to perceiving people's thoughts and emotions. These days, there are even self-awareness type of AI robotics wherein they are able to operate with human level consequences and understand their own existence. You see, AI manifests itself in many ways. A low-level option could be bots, that is text-based limitations, but when asked about weather conditions, it can't tell you. Little advanced and sophisticated could be NLP, that is natural language processing, that will translate your voice into text. Then it will feed the search engines and reading the answer back in human language. But the version most exciting to me is machine learning. Like a human, this machine can become smarter over a period of time without human limitations like short-term memory loss, information overload, sleep, or distraction. In machine learning, as I understand and try to use in my project using algorithms to find meaning in random unordered data and thereafter using learning algorithms to find relationship between that knowledge and improve the learning process. This is how a machine which is a non-human can learn things intellectually. You see, there are lots of programming being done at the back end with technologies like deep learning to spot differences between things, animals, humans, birds, widget subsets, and so on. Machine learning is about making the machine learn like a human, that is by experience. So, a ML program analyzes thousands of examples to build an algorithm to accomplish its goal. Over time, the program actually gets smarter. Thus, with such ML AI technology, it can help solve complex problems, even diagnose cancer or any other such health issues, which otherwise doctor or pharma companies would do with human limitations of time, location, sleep, greed, and some other. But with technology evolved around us, machines are expected to be perfect, flawless, honest and global standards. Likewise, AI can be applied anywhere, like in our government functioning and everywhere to solve human problems. This is how from the development of self-driving cars to what I'd like to develop one day, a prototypation of Amazon smart wearable glasses with inbuilt voice assistant. AI is growing and will continue to be a part of our everyday life. Personally, I am fascinated on this subject while I am developing an AI-enabled Amazon smart wearable glasses. As AI can allow CPU to see and other gadgets and to hear and even enable machines to walk and do such magical things. Before I conclude the series, last year I had spoken on AI as a student at my online education platform of USA-based company. Let's hear that as my son loved it and decided to reward me some cash prize and certificate and even used it as their promote of testimonial. Here's that video. Hi, I am Swayam Sodha, a human intelligence with interest in learning artificial intelligence. At an outset, AI is a software and robots are physical machines that moves under an artificial intelligence system. Issue is that AI decisions are not always intelligible to humans. Their rights, well-being, and at times prone to social or emotional harm. Reference to the solution of this dilemma in future, I would say that this ethical preference has to come in human beings themselves, which is researchers and legal framework, to make sure that we do not make our own destruction. By now, you'll have realized why AI is so powerful and will change our lives in different ways. 10 years from now, I can only imagine self-driving cars to take us to do work and while we are talking with our friends on my plans from Amazon smart wearable glasses.
Why do you like Python, or do you like any other programming languages?
Yeah. Well, talking about the machine languages, I know programming languages. I will start with my most favorite, that is Python.
Okay.
So speciality of Python is that I like its range of libraries and the community support it has on platforms such as GitHub. And not only that, I can use it for my Raspberry Pi project of smart wearable glasses. Of course, on the basic version, I'll use Raspberry Pi Pico for the PCB and all. And then I can also use it for different programs. It is very adjustable. I can use it for IoT, smart homes, smart cars, data science, and many such fields.
Okay, so have you ever had a conversation with someone who says Java is better than Python?
Actually, I was just going to say that other languages I know.
Okay.
Also, I know HTML. It helps the giving a format to web that which text will be there, which input will be there. Then next, I also know CSS to give that web page a good styling.
Okay, all right.
And then I forgot to say that in Python, I am also developing my own website by Python that will be soon available on internet.
Oh, awesome. So how is
And
it
I am
going to help?
developing it in Django, which is again a Python framework.
Okay, so how is this website going to help us?
This website is gonna be like Amazon of smart glasses.
Okay.
And in that you will see many varieties of smart glasses like audio, then you'll see that AR kind of stuff. Then you'll see smart glasses for blinds. You'll see smart glasses for workspace, for that office kind of stuff. And I'll surely explain it in detail.
Okay, awesome. So since we're talking about your product,
Or
right?
rather, I also know about, I can also understand JavaScript,
Okay.
which is useful for adding additional functions to it.
Okay.
And then also I'm planning to pursue C++ as it may help me, solve the latency issue in my AR glasses. That is a major factor that is the challenge for me, that latency in the AR glasses.
Okay. So tell me something here, Swayam, right? The audience would love to know that you're starting this product of yourself, right? So
Yes.
have you started a company? Are you the CEO? What do you do?
Okay, so I started a firm named Swayam Sodha, in which I'm a CIO in it,
Okay.
CIO and CTO. Both.
Okay. Okay.
And you can say I'm the founder, and my dad is the CEO.
Okay. So what is this product that you're building?
I'm building a product, smart wearable glasses, in which it will not really gonna be a normal glasses. It will have IoT. And talking about the hardware side, so here will be the PCB.
Okay.
Or the SoC we can say.
Sure.
And then on the dead end, there will be speakers.
Okay.
That will help you hear the sound.
Okay. And where do you speak from?
It will be like you can understand it as your phone on your glasses.
Phone on
Like
your
you
glasses,
browse
okay.
Facebook, internet, YouTube.
So is this like a click button that we'll have?
Not click button, it will be like swipe.
Swipe. Okay.
From
Wow.
here you can directly swipe up, down, left, right.
Sure.
It will be touch based.
Touch base. And how do I charge this glasses?
Well, there will be a solar panel given which will charge it from sun. Not only that, you can even connect it to a port, that normal port, not Type C. Then it will also have, it doesn't need a audio jack. It will have a battery kind of stuff, thin battery that you can replace.
Okay.
That will be, of course, in future versions.
So right now you're saying this is a solar-based glasses that I can use. It's sustainable. It's
Yeah.
renewable energy. And we
Yeah.
just discussed some time ago. What about those countries where sun is probably the issue?
Yeah, so they can use, hydroelectricity.
Oh, wow.
That there will be if they don't have solar and they need to charge and the electricity bill is coming a lot. Then they will not charge it from the USB port. They just I'll give them a special additional gadget. Just go near the rivers or the water where it is flowing continuously,
Sure.
like waves are coming, and put it in that. It will be, of course, waterproof, and then it will get electricity from that water.
Okay, how did this idea come to you? Why do you think of building this product?
Thinking of building this product was that many times, or not many times, 1-2 times it has been that once I was, planning to travel somewhere, and then I discovered that I have forgot my mobile at the home itself.
Okay.
Then it be a problem too. If we want to contact somebody, we can't.
Okay. Were you alone or you were with your parents?
I was with my parents.
Okay.
I was with my mom.
Okay, so you found it hard to get in touch with your father. Let's say.
Yeah, even my mom forgot her phone at home.
Both of you forgot your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Then we just spent the day anyway, and if we wanted to call, we were just not able to call anybody.
Sure.
Then that has been the issue, and then I thought of why can't it be that it is in the glasses itself?
Why glasses? Why not anything else?
Because it's already in the form of watches. It has
Okay.
already been developed by Fortune 500s.
Right.
But about these glasses, Fortune 500s are yet working on it, and after it, Google Glass attempted, it failed.
Sure.
Apple are going to attempt their launches in 2024. So let's see what they are doing.
Okay, awesome.
So and then I got an idea that let me also try it out. Actually, I got an idea. It was my own. I didn't knew that these companies were developing.
Okay.
But I got that idea on my own and I started working on it.
Sure.
As my dad had introduced me to Python.
So you've already gone ahead and done the backend for this and you've built it all. How about the hardware? Who's helping you with that?
Well, about talking about the hardware, in the basic versions, we'll use Raspberry Pi Pico.
Okay.
And in that there's a ready PCB. I just need to code it up, and all USB and all is there.
Okay. So you think that you can do this on your own? You don't need help.
Yep, and also in the future versions, we of course need to create our own PCB.
Okay.
If we just keep buying Raspberry Pi Pico, then it will be less profit of ours.
Okay. So you'll end up spending more money than actually
Yeah.
gain. Okay. Awesome. You're talking like a CEO, not like a CIO or a CTO. Do you know that?
Yeah, but I'll also talk like a CIO or a CTO.
Okay. Okay.
I talk
Awesome.
like a 3.
You talk
Three
like
in
all
one.
three. Okay, awesome. So you did tell me when we were having this little chit chat that you're very interested in data science.
Yes.
What intrigued you to look at data science? Was it more to do with numbers or data crunching or analyzing a specific problem? What prompted you?
Okay, well, that was related to all the stuff that you told, numbers and all. But yeah, it was basically, you can understand it's a science of data. You can just think that it's the science of data, and well, I've actually I'm very fascinated from the word scientist itself.
Okay.
Since I was very young.
Tell me why. Why do you like this word scientist?
Well, actually, I'm born in that way.
Awesome. So when did it
Then,
occur to you that you're born this way?
Well, when I was say 2 to 3, not 2 to 3, but 3 to 4 years, I used to watch a TV cartoon serial named Kiko and Super Speedo, in which there was a supercar known as Super Speedo,
Okay.
and there was a kid known as Kiko.
Okay.
So in that supercar was able to do everything. He was able to teach, educate, guide, entertain, and many such things for his master.
Okay.
So I like that friendship between that kid and that machine car.
All right.
So I was wondering that how this is possible. So then the same day, my dad brought me a gift, a red toy remote control car.
Okay.
So I was just looking at its remote very carefully. Where are the buttons that it can talk and all?
All right. This is at age 4.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're 9 now.
Not 4, but it was at age 3.
Okay, so at 3 years old, you're thinking where the buttons, where the machine can speak to you. Okay.
So then I discussed it with my dad that I want a car like Super Speedo.
Okay.
So then he laughed, and rather than saying no, he said yes, it is possible, but we need to make a one our own.
Oh.
Then he discussed about hardware and software mildly, and he mildly told me about Python.
Okay.
Rather about machine languages.
Okay.
That there's a HTML which is used to create websites and all. Then it immediately caught my attention, and I started researching on it.
So
I did many numerous courses about it.
Wow, at the age of 3, you started
I'd like to
researching.
give some examples of the courses I've done.
Okay.
And actually, these will be few of them. If we cover the whole, it will take up to half an hour to just cover that.
Oh God, we're not doing that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just cover a few that
Sure.
are important. The certifications that I've done related to Python
Uh-huh.
are somewhere like neuromorphic computing,
Okay.
edge computing. Then I've also done about we can say I've also done about AI, ML, or it is artificial intelligence and machine learning.
We understand AI.
Then about deep learning,
Sure.
about decision trees, and also done about that is that was a deep learning I said, and that was many numerous courses I've done, including my diploma in data science.
Okay. So tell me a little more about, you said that you got intrigued with the word scientist.
Yeah.
You went into a trail of thought of how Python came into your head.
Yeah.
But scientist, what actually intrigues you? Why did you want to become a data scientist? I'm assuming you want to be a data scientist, right?
Or rather, I am a diploma.
Okay, you already have a diploma. So tell me more about what is it that you're intrigued about? Is it the numbers? You still didn't answer that. What actually are you working on? Is it numbers? Is it analysis? Are you arriving at a structural thought of solving a specific problem? What do you like to do?
Okay, so as I said, I have done many numerous courses, including my diploma in data science. In that, I actually faced many problems,
Okay.
such as like that. It was very difficult for me to understand that jargons. I was taught the topics like deviations, then that was probabilities,
Okay.
and patterns, and that was being a bit difficult for me to do all that. But by the end of the course, I got an overview to it.
Okay, so you like the course because it appeals to you, or do you like the course because you understand it?
I like the course because it appeals me rather.
Okay, it appeals you.
Yeah, and I'd like to give a bit brief to our audience about data science.
Sure, please go ahead.
That data science is converting a raw data into meaningful insights. Like I'd like to share with the example. Like our audience itself, they might be seeing this interview on say YouTube.
Correct.
So they are giving the data about their location, time, device, their subject of interest, their likings, and whatnot.
Okay.
So these data is being stored somewhere.
Correct.
And that data is not data garbage. It has to be used. So with there is a data scientist comes into a picture, and the data scientist analyzes and all. I'll tell you the steps now.
Sure, please.
That it collects the data from the sources. Then it further filters it. That which is useful, which is not. Then it moves on. It analyzes the data. Then further it trains a model that can make it insightful.
Okay.
Then we pass the data to that model, and that model will give us the output. Then we have to convert it into a plot to show it to a non-techie guy.
Okay.
Like somebody say like a person like Mukesh Ambani.
Sure.
We have to show him. He'll not understand the language of coding.
Okay.
He has to be represented in a graphical way.
I
So
love
we
the
use
way you-
libraries like Matplotlib and
Okay.
that.
I love the way you've put Mukesh Ambani as a non-techie guy. Great. So, can you also talk a little bit more about,
Yeah, sure.
the part that you said? So, YouTube. I'm watching this YouTube. There is this data that's getting collected. You gave the series of how a data flow happens.
Yeah.
Can you
And,
actually use this as an example and tell the audience
Yeah,
and be useful?
so you are watching this video. This is a techie video, and maybe you have watched some previous interviews of Purple Quarter. Then you might see that next time when the Purple Quarter's interview is uploaded, you not have subscribed, you not have pressed the bell icon. But next time when Purple Quarter uploads a video, you will see it in the suggestions.
Right.
So that's because of data science.
Sure.
That it analyzes the data. Okay, this is the interest of this person, and I should recommend this.
Okay.
And it matches our recommendations, like on YouTube, Facebook, Netflix.
Great. So when you go on to sites such as Amazon or Flipkart, do you use
Yeah.
them? Do you use these
Yeah,
sites?
yeah.
Right?
To order my materials.
Absolutely, right? So how do you look at data science being put to use by these companies? What are your views?
Okay, these companies use data science as I mentioned about that suggestions.
Search and reco? You're saying search and recommendation is what they're
Yeah,
using?
search
Okay.
recommendations, suggestions that we have buyed say I have buyed a Raspberry Pi Pico, a bunch of it 2 times. Then if I next time open that site again, it will just suggest me that this user is a frequent customer of this product. Then I should suggest this.
Okay.
Like in future, it could be that if you every day go to a not every day but say every month. Go to a medicine store and buy some medicines. Then it have stored that you buy these medicines in a range of 1 month.
Sure.
So it will keep it ready, and if you are thinking that I need to buy this, it will just come to your home and ask, do you need this? So he says, yes, I was just thinking about it.
So you're saying that sooner or later data will become so intelligent and that's when the AI kicks in?
Yes.
Okay, so do you want to talk about why you are so passionate about AI as well?
Okay, so talking about AI, it is a great technology. It helps a machine, understand that it is artificial intelligence. So I'd like to start it with a comparison between we humans and machine.
Okay.
So we humans can think. We have brains.
Okay.
Machine has neuromorphic computing.
Right.
We humans can see with our eyes.
Right.
Machine has computer vision.
Sure.
We humans can recognize patterns. Machine has pattern recognition.
Correct.
We humans can recognize the scene around us. Machine has computer vision. We humans can speak. Machine has speech recognition.
Okay.
We humans can read and write. Machine has NLP, also known as natural language processing.
Sure. What about smell?
Yeah, if we can smell, machine has various kind of sensors.
Sure.
That helps it. Then if we can move around fluidly, then recognize surroundings around us. Then it is robotics.
Sure. So, when you and I were chatting, we were talking about this chip that you want to put into a robot. You
Yeah.
want to talk about that a little?
Yeah, I'll come to it, but first I'd like to mention this with the example of ChatGPT.
Okay, please.
Yeah, so ChatGPT is a kind of a humanly chatbot, you can say.
Sure.
That it will make you feel that a human is chatting, but it's not the case. It's the AI. It has been feeded with billions and millions of parameters, and thus it is able to do these kind of works. Like suppose you feed in it is very useful in code and content writing work. So if I am having issues with my code writing work, I just put in that hey, help me with solve this bug, or rather write a whole code.
Right.
And just press the enter button, it will give me the results.
Sure.
Or not the results, it will just directly give me the code with explanation that why it is, what is.
Correct. So you said
And
you'll
also
come to
it can help me write a book, content writing to post on my blogger.
Okay. So you really like ChatGPT for some
Yeah,
reason.
it's very useful basically.
You know that schools and colleges are going to ban that. You can't really use that for your homework.
Yeah. They should ban.
They should
Otherwise,
ban.
otherwise it will feel human that human has written, but
Okay.
it's not the case. AI has written.
Absolutely.
And if some coincidence happens that AI gives same answer to them, then they may all get catched.
Sure, sure. So we were talking about the brain, and we
Yeah.
spoke about how you said that.
Also, I'd like to mention one more such fascinating technology, again from OpenAI, and I forgot to mention that
Yes.
this is from OpenAI, and the next one more technology which is really amazing and mind blowing is DALI.
Okay.
Again from OpenAI, which is a platform for, say you want a horsefly, you want to
Okay.
see a horsefly.
Okay.
Then you feed in that I want this kind of stuff. You feed in a description, and it will show you a video or a picture that a horse is flying.
Okay.
It is like a.
It's a make believe. You're saying.
Yeah, make believe. Like if I say that make someone wear my Amazon Smart Travel glasses and saying amazing. So it will make some videos like that. That
Okay.
somebody is wearing it and saying amazing.
Sure. All right. So you seem to be a huge fan of.
OpenAI.
Okay, OpenAI, and you spoke about ChatGPT. So a lot of these things actually, who's your role model? Who's your idol?
Role models is Elon Musk.
Okay.
But talking from India, it is Pranav Mistry. I have two
Oh.
role models.
Okay. So what do you like about each of these role models?
Okay, well, so these Elon Musk is a genius as of now. Nobody could beat its IQ. Even I think so. As per me, its IQ is much more than we can say Albert Einstein.
Oh my God. Okay.
As per my understanding, because he developed such genius ideas that he can even make a monkey play a game.
Sure. And how do you think he does that?
He has implanted Neuralink in that chip, and it is neuromorphic computing. So,
Wow.
well, let me mention about neuromorphic computing at this stage. So, coming to neuromorphic computing, it is a technology that mimics our brains.
Okay.
That if we can speak, or rather not speak, we can just we have ideas coming.
Okay.
And as I'm speaking, ideas are coming. I'm speaking. So they are spiking, rather I should say artificial spiking neural network.
Right.
It is a bunch of neural network given in that chip, and if we insert it anywhere in say a robot, it can become like us. Also, it comes with a packed reinforcement learning.
Okay.
And the guys who don't know it, what is reinforcement learning? It is a learning which like self-learning. It
Sure.
will learn from its feedbacks.
Sure.
Like we learn.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone gives us feedback that hey, A has to be written this way, not this way, so we understand it and learn it basically and keep it in our memory. So this is the same with the neuromorphic, and also it has a more advantage, I think so, because it is free of such things such as short-term memory loss, sleep, greed, distraction, and information overload.
Okay, awesome. So, we're going to like kind of distract ourselves from this conversation and talk a little bit about your interest in Bhagavad Gita. Right?
Okay.
We spoke about that slightly outside. Your father mentioned
Yeah,
this, right?
yeah.
And you said something very beautiful, right? You spoke about why you like Bhagavad Gita. Do you want to share with our audience why you like Bhagavad Gita as much?
Yeah,
How does it
sure.
help you?
It helps me balance my mind. It is basically the manual of life. Every question you have in life, that why this, why that, it is a manual. You can find everything there.
Okay.
And it mainly helps us balance our mind.
Okay.
It's the basic of it.
Okay, so can you give us an example how you put that to use in your daily life?
In daily life, that regularly, it is very regular for me to have bugs in my program. So rather
Okay.
than just saying that no, I'm failed, I've got bugs like say 5 to 10 times in the same project. No, I can't do it. Rather than doing that, improve yourself.
Awesome. Do you think that even the elders can put this to use whenever they fail?
Yeah, very much.
Very
Because-
much. Is it as simple as you're saying it is?
Well, it's simple to say, but it's difficult to implement.
Sure.
Our mind automatically just imbalances. We have to keep it in balance. happens.
Okay, so there's a lot of data that you're actually talking, right, as we
Yeah.
speak. That's why you like the subject, because there's a lot of data that you're analyzing, and then you're figuring out how to work on this problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So, hey, you know what, Swayam? There's a lot of thought and talk about quantum computing, which is one of your
Yeah.
favorite subjects as well. Do you want to actually talk about why you like quantum computing?
Actually, I was just thinking of mentioning about the quantum computing.
Okay.
And you just mentioned it.
Sure.
So yeah, quantum computing basically, let's start from its basic unit, that is a qubit.
Mm-hmm.
So a qubit is basically it can the specialty of a qubit is that it can have multiple together. That I'll show you the conventional digit is just like if we toss a coin,
Okay.
it will come heads at once or tails at once.
Correct.
So that is a conventional computer. But what if I toss a coin and it just spins and it is in a standing position?
Okay.
So in that case, it can have multiple possibilities.
Sure.
And so that's a specialty of a qubit in simple language.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also the specialty of qubit is rather quantum computing is entanglement and all. I'll mention that just apart from now. But I'll also like to say that I've also programmed 2 qubits in a quantum computer.
Okay.
You can see it in my quantum computing video available in my Swift 22 series. And you can just type my name, Swayam Sodha. It will be on the top.
Okay, awesome. So we'll leave that handle on this podcast for people to go and check that out. But coming back to my question.
I'd like to mention about that different technologies like entanglement. I didn't mention
Please.
entanglement and superposition.
Sure. Please go ahead.
So first, let's start with superposition.
Mm-hmm.
So superposition of a quantum is similar to a qubit.
Okay.
As I explained, it can have multiple possibilities together. It is just that it can store multiple data together. I'll explain it in my way of Python.
Okay.
That if someone knows Python, he will surely understand it.
Right.
That in this or mathematics also, it can have one together. That x is equal to say hello. So it can be only hello. It can't be anything else.
Okay.
But in quantum, it can be x is equal to hello, comma, hello or multiple languages.
Sure.
It just one means multiple. Then it will figure it out by itself that which to present to that user.
Okay. So quantum computing you spoke about too.
And
Is there
also
one more?
I'd like to mention about entanglement. It's a special and a beautiful quality of quantum.
Okay.
Entanglement is that you can imagine this as one qubit and this as another qubit, my cup.
Okay.
So it is this much far it can correct.
Okay.
But if it is this much far, it will be a bit difficult for conventional to correct.
Right.
But it can correct 2 or more qubits no matter how far they are.
Sure. So for the ease of understanding for the audience, could you say where is quantum going to be used?
Quantum is going to be used, or rather where I'm going to use it,
Okay.
is in 2 fields.
Okay.
One in my Samsung smart travel glasses. I need to use it a supercomputer to do it. Otherwise, it even if I use C++ to connect to the internet, it will surely have latency issues. So I don't want latency in my smart glasses.
Okay.
So I use quantum. So it is very super fast supercomputer.
Okay.
That will help us process much faster.
So you have lesser amount of bugs. Your consumers who are using your glasses are more happy.
Yeah.
They're getting things real time.
Yeah, you just click an application. In today's date, it just loads a bit for say 2 seconds. And even in that will not be the case. Just click, it is opened.
Sure. So this message is going to go out to, Shriman Rajiv Chandrasekhar, who's the Minister for Electronics in India, where he's gone ahead and spoken in CDAC in Pune a few days ago that, India is going to be around quantum computing. And our own PM, Modi ji, is also recommending quantum computing is going to be the best solution way forward. So
Yeah.
I'd really like them to look at this podcast, to look at Swayam, to actually encourage what he's trying to build.
Yeah.
So coming back to my question to you, Swayam, so if you were to look at quantum computing being put to use apart from your glasses.
Yeah, so it can be used in my dad's project of smartcityhome.in.
Okay.
That currently there's too much pollution in the environment.
Right.
If you go to any cities, you will find pollution there. So, about that, for reducing the usage of coals, we can use quantum to get most out of the renewable energies and develop such renewable energy devices that will help reduce use of coals as today. Then also I'd like to mention one more amazing use case that if possible with quantum we can rather not if possible, it is possible with quantum to discard such materials that could capture carbon inside them. So that will reduce that pollution and all. And if they stop using these kind of vehicles and use e-vehicles, it will be much better or rather easy for quantum to reduce the pollution.
So you're saying electric vehicles, we're talking about, from what you just said, I gather blockchain you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. What more use cases you can see in today's world that audience already knows? Electric vehicles ho gaya, so we've spoken about blockchains which can be used in crypto or can be used in multiple. Blockchain can be put to more uses apart from crypto, right? What more do you think quantum can be used for?
Quantum can be used. Its mechanism is fully different. That the quantum engineers are planning to make such things that could, just like I'll give you an example. That it will be a basic example of hologram, but then I'll show you with a quantum example. That currently imagine that we are doing a podcast in an online meeting.
Right.
And if suppose I have this mug.
You can feel it, you can sense it.
Yeah. And if I want to, if by any chance my mug is broken and you want to give me a mug, so then you can just make it it will come to me. If you just put it in the screen, it will come to me.
Sure. It's almost like teleporting, you're saying.
Yeah. Or like it will just not hit that object. It will just go in between of it.
Got it.
Like example of ball. That today we throw a ball on the wall.
Right.
It will just reflect and come back.
Correct.
But in future, if we throw it from here, it will straight go downstairs.
Oh. All right. So all this seems very unimaginable for a lot of people, isn't it? So what do you have to say to those people?
Actually, it's not a magic. It's the power of technology.
It's the power of technology. So you believe a lot in technology.
Yeah. Actually, I'm a tech lover.
You're a tech lover. So we were talking about what do you think in 30 years, how you're going to see the world? When you turn 39, what do you think the world is going to be?
The world, as of my vision, the world is going to be very tech savvy and is going to be loving my smart travel glasses.
Okay.
Today's generations, they love phone. Previous generations, they loved computers.
Correct.
So future generations will love my smart glasses.
Okay, wow. So
that's my expectations.
Okay, that's your expectations. So anybody who wants to actually go ahead, let's say that Stanford, or we have anybody from universities or founders or even Elon Musk, let's say PM, our own PM Modi ji is listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
You're more than willing to collaborate, or you're looking at people who understand your passion to collaborate?
I am not after the quantity, I am after the quality.
Okay.
That they should understand.
Okay.
And they should even participate. It's not just that, okay, I'll help you with the funding and you do it by yourself.
Alright.
Then they'll just do nothing and just earn.
Okay.
Or rather, they will just make some pressure.
They put
without
pressure on
doing
you.
anything.
Sure.
Just by giving the money.
Right.
So I want that kind of collaborations which they just don't provide the funding, but also they work with me.
Oh.
Like they help in my technology programming side, or somebody may help in a hardware side.
Or maybe help you with your thought process, right? Say, hey, why not we do this?
Yeah.
Right? From a technology perspective.
If it is a tech savvy person, I can accept it. It might be from anywhere.
Okay. Awesome.
I don't bother if he's from Stanford or Harvard.
It doesn't matter. Even if this person is from Japan, China, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely. Awesome, awesome. So we also spoke about something of your interest, which is nature. So we just kind of deviating from technology, moving towards nature. So you were talking about, this is for more kids who are watching this show, who are almost your age. Can you talk about what do you like about nature? What have you really been intrigued by?
Well, it gives me a peace of mind.
Okay.
And it helps me think much wider.
Okay.
Like currently I am at my home and in my city, Mumbai. So in that there are lots of things like, okay, do this, do that, attend your schools, do that programming, do this, then eat your lunch at time, then even you have to attend something else, meetings. All these are there.
Okay.
But if when I come to say a forest or a village, that's the thing.
Okay, so you
We
like
are
it.
just enjoying it.
Right. What are the languages that you're learning at this point of time?
Okay, so I've included my all programming languages, but I like to say one fun thing that I also know a human language which is not very popular, or rather much people don't know it as of now.
Okay.
That is Sanskrit, which I am learning it in my school.
Okay.
And the speciality of that language is that it has only one meaning for one word.
Okay, so explain that a little. What do you mean one meaning for one word?
Like if I take a Sanskrit word asti,
Okay.
that it just means that it is,
Okay.
nothing else.
Okay, so why is it different from other languages?
Well, if I take an example of English itself, then there can be like the homophones.
Okay.
Or we can say that there are many things like if someone says that this is a sea, that sea.
Right.
And if it says a sea, it means that the first meaning that it's a sea, a ocean.
Right.
And second meaning just see
See, sure.
this with your eyes.
Wow. So you like everything which has clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like everything which is structured.
Yeah. Even I have done structured query language.
Okay, so you move
In
to
the
technology.
That
Okay.
is also shortly known as SQL.
Right.
And it is used it is very good language for handling data sets and managing it.
Sure.
It's very good for data kind of stuff. And that's what actually I did it just before my diploma in data science.
What is the one specific suggestion you have for founders or technologists out there who are already building these wonderful apps, who are doing wonderful things, connecting us through technology? Is there anything you'd like to share with them?
About that, I'd like to share with them that just create products. It's very time up being created apps. We have created apps, and future maybe that mobile trend is down and smart glass trend is up. So we should develop a product that is evergreen.
Sure. So you're saying move away from creating apps, but create products.
Yeah, that is going to be evergreen.
Sure.
Then apps might be outdated, or this is outdated app, this is a new app, and discriminates in it.
Right.
But if it is your monopoly to a particular product, everyone will have to buy it.
Awesome. So what do you have
And
as
even someone buys it for style, that
Okay.
I have this latest product but doesn't understand anything in it.
Awesome. So can you also tell me what is the suggestion you have for investors? The funding community who are looking at all of these and funds them. Do you have any suggestions for them, Swayam?
Okay, funding communities. So I'd like to give advice of that
Please.
particular funding community which are tech savvy,
Okay.
that interested in technology,
Right.
and they want to fund. So they should even help out the innovators with them, not just funding. Okay, you do your work.
Right.
I'll just give you funding and that's all right.
Okay.
But that's not the case. They should even help them.
Sure.
And even for the interest, they may even take some part, like mine will be say 20% and yours will be other 60.
Oh, someone's been talking to you on these terms, is it?
No.
No. That's just an example. All right.
Yeah, these are just examples.
Examples. All right. So Swayam, so lovely to have you on this show. I really adored the conversation that we had. Would you have any last thoughts you want to mention before we go?
My just thought is that why it was too short, this interview.
All right. Why was it too short? We will get you back once you're 2 years more older than what you are today, and we'll see what you've done. We'll talk more to you, and we'll, like I promised you, we'll introduce you to a lot of communities which are tech driven. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Lovely chatting with you, Swayam.
Yeah, lovely chatting with you too.
Okay. Bye bye then.
Yeah, bye.